Day 55. Day 55, 135,000. Last couple weeks, we did alright, but we kind of slacked off a little bit. So basically, here we go. Back in the backyard. I guess I need to flip this around. So we had 2 weeks off at a very cool place. If you happen to tune into any of those live streams, you saw us. We were doing this from camp. It was great. Flip that around. There we go. Da-da-da. All right. Back to the usual thing. Break these up into like mostly sets of 100. Usually keep track of. And I happen to gain like 15 pounds in 2 weeks of a pensick. Yo, swag, what's up? How is it? How's it going? Back at home. Yeah, first day back at home. I was gonna do this last night, but you know, like after tearing down camp for hours in the sun, not eating too much, I got home, I unpacked some stuff, sat down. Next thing I knew, it was like 16 hours later. But I guess it's how it goes after 2 weeks of pensick and not drinking energy drinks. I think it really got me. So I'm gonna try and keep it up and not drink energy drinks at all. Maybe the habit will be kicked. I didn't have a single one in like 14 days. That's probably part of the reason I slept like 16 hours last night. Oh boy, here we are back to the hill where this thing loves to just rock back and forth and work its way down the hill. Oh yeah, you know, it would help for my fighting supply too. That's a good thought. I should bring a couple just for fight days. The day that I went and fought the steel tournament, I was dragging so bad. I figured once I got my armor on, I was fine, but man, I could have used a little extra energy. Yo, Enchanted Pixie, hey. Also, what's up? We're back at home. Unfortunately, and fortunately in other cases, but you know, the 2 week dream's over. 50 weeks to go till we're back. We left off at 25, so this is 26. I do have some pensick clips to upload, so I know, right? I get back home and back to normal clothes. You know, sometimes I actually wear medieval stuff like out to go shop, like the grocery store. I'll wear my garb sometimes just to go out. I actually might tonight to go out. My daughter's gonna stay at her mom's tonight, so I might go out to dinner. My last out to eat meal, then I gained 15 pounds or something like that over at pensick. It's crazy, in 2 weeks. So one out to eat meal tonight, and back to my usual diet, I guess. Heck yeah. And I talked to actually a lot of people, even just in chat, who I'm talking to in like DMs about coming next year. It'll be great. Low turnout, 8,600 people. Like, what's that about? I don't know. But yeah, let's see. That was 42. I do have a couple pensick clips though to upload still, so at least over the next week I'll still have some stuff. And I gotta make all the highlight reels from like the bridge battles and stuff. It's gonna be kind of crappy resolution because it's like I'm taking it from a live stream, but during the week, we'll at least have some more Pensick footage. And I have my next tournament. 2 weekends from now is my next tournament at Dragon Con. It's steel fighting. We'll have some great Dragon Con footage, I bet. Anybody who's tuning in. Oh yeah, good. We got a good, decent little crowd here. Dragon Con in 2 weeks, end of the month. It'll be like dress-up time again, but I think more for like comic book themed. I don't know. But we're fighting there, so it'll be fun. What's up, Jackson Lowry? Let me see if I can move this closer. Let me see if I can move this like where I can see chat at the same time. It's the thing that sucks. I'm back to the backyard where the shade. You gotta chase the shade. Now I can kind of see. Chase the shade. Now I can kind of see. That's a little better. Perhaps I can now see while we hit the dummy when chats pop up. Except the dummy kind of works its way downhill. Ugh. Oh! Malgras, hey, thanks. Yeah, I mean, it's not as, I always tell people too, Boo Hurt, Hema. Boo Hurt's below Hema as far as techniques and stuff. That's cool. I'm glad you appreciate it. Yeah, the reason I like Boo Hurt, though, is not just because it's a little more physical, which I like, but I also like that it's a time limit. So, it's not just first touch to win. So, like, no joke, and I didn't record it, which I should have, because I was on a date. But, I was... So, long story short, I met this girl. I was like... You know, it's probably another week or even 2 before I have a free night. You know, I'm going to this, at the HEMA school I go to, like a saber tournament. Like, if you want to come, like, you're more than welcome to. And she did, and I actually got second place out of 20 people. Like, you know, first touch rules, so, you know, I'm not, like, a joke with HEMA. I can do all right now. I did HEMA for years. But once I started in Boo Hurt, like, I never looked back, and I like almost never do HEMA anymore. I don't know, but HEMA is more, I think, accurate fighting, of course, because you're allowed to do stuff like this. Unlike Boo Hurt, which is like a whacking sport. But I like Boo Hurt, like you're saying, because we just kind of beat each other up, like smash each other, and it's time limit. It's not like like as soon as you get hit, you're done. The only person I lost to at that tournament, that saber tournament, he's one of the teachers at one of the schools in Pittsburgh. The only person I lost to at that tournament, that saber tournament, he's one of the teachers at one of the schools in Pittsburgh, so I don't feel too bad about that. Let me get a Wise at Pensick, a longsword manual. I can't wait to read it. Will I actually get to use any of the techniques in there? Probably not. Because that stuff you can't do. Tin Man, because I can't do all that stuff in Boo Hurt. Redneck, what's up, Tin Man Redneck? If either of y'all are still there. We're back home and back at it. What's your, if you got one, if you're still there, do you have a favorite manual? Or I should say, author? Thanks for the follow. Or I should say author, or not author, but, because, right, sometimes they're not really the authors. They're just, you're reading what they've told people. They didn't actually write the manuals, right? Like Lichtenauer, right? Isn't that just a compilation of just what people heard him talk about? It's been a while. I did get a really cool longsword book though while I was there for 40 bucks up at Arms Street. I'm gonna start reading it tomorrow night. Maybe tonight. So how this is working today, this is part 1, day 55, part 1. I might have a nighttime stream out here too. I'm getting behind in my sword hits. So I'm basically gonna hit this for a little while right now. I'm gonna go out to eat. What's up? I see somebody just tuned in with the highlighted name. And then tonight, I'll be back out doing it again. I just need a break to go eat dinner. I still need to unpack things from this trip. So this is just part 1. Pensick! Oh, it's OG Toast. Hey, it was great. I hate to be back at home. Well, I guess 50 weeks to go till it starts again. I mean, it was a good time. Oh, OG. Yo, hey, thanks for the follow. Like I was saying, I still got a couple Pensick clips to upload. I need to upload the highlights of the bridge battles and the mass battles, which I don't know if it'll be that great quality because the resolution, I'm copying it from my live stream footage. It's usually not the clearest resolution, but we'll have some highlights. And how are you doing today? Thanks for the follow, by the way. The Pensick stuff I have remaining is more like some interviews with people, the highlights of those, and maybe a couple of clips when we're walking around. At least for a couple weeks, every couple days, I'll find something Pensick related to upload. And I think I made up my mind. After this Buhurt season, I want to try and get more involved. I want to be like the guy out here for the SCA steel fighting stuff. So that's my goal, which means I'm gonna have to get more involved in my local SCA community. All right, I think this should be about 40 right here. Yeah, can you imagine being in a bridge battle and hurting your knee because you got pushed over one of those hay bales? Like someone in my camp actually got hurt because somebody stomped on his leg. Aha. You can put whatever you want basically under some pants, right? That would be pretty cool though. I mean, if you could get back into it. I mean, you know, if you're wanting to get back into it, I definitely, you know, best wishes figuring that out. That's awesome though. Even despite injury, if you get back out there, I know if I had a problem, I would definitely be trying to figure out a solution to get back out there. At least for the mass battles, I could understand like staying out of the woods. A lot of people stay out of the woods because of the terrain, the uneven footing. I didn't really hear of anyone really getting hurt in the woods battle this year. Oh yeah, Christian, what's up, Christian? Yo, Mal, kilts. Awesome. Kilts are like the best look. If I was doing rapier, I would definitely have. I don't know if you call it a kilt in rapier. It's almost like a dress kind of. Do you know what I'm talking about? I would think that'd be so much better than fighting in pants. I'm going to work on my cardio because I have this plan next year of something I saw in the kids battle that I want to do in the adult battles for the mass field battle, where we need a lot of cardio to do it. Let me finish this set here real quick. I'm certain that was over 100. Let me grab my water. I got these gloves while I was there at Darkwood Armory. We're putting them to the test. When they get wet, you know, it's leather. I accidentally spilled my freaking sword polishing oil on the left glove. I didn't accidentally spill it on there. I put it in a box, and I didn't realize that it was soaked with that oil at the bottom. Yo, falls from trees. Whew. Let me catch up on chat here. All right. Hey, and thanks for the likes, too. Kilts are the best. What did I catch up on chat here? All right. Hey, and thanks for the likes, too. Kilts are the best. Does anyone know what's it called? So is there a term for the? It's not exact. It's not a typical kilt, but it's like a dress that you wear. It looks like a longer dress. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, so much more leg. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, so much more leg mobility. Oh heck yeah, OG. OG Toast. I'm trying to be the live steel guy here. I uploaded if you look probably about 4 or 5 videos back on my channel is the live steel. What is that? Playbooks? I have this thing that popped up. I don't even know what a playbook is for live.
Huh. I haven't figured out the playbooks for live either. I know what you're talking about. I just can't remember the proper name of the garment.
Yeah, I can't think. Yeah, it still looks like so much better mobility.
Yeah.
Management.
It's amazing, the kilts and doing that. You get such great mobility out of them. I'm surprised more people don't do that. But what I normally do is let me put my headset on real quick. I am normally at Penzic when I was very active in the SCA. I was with a Rus Viking camp.
Okay.
So we were mercenaries. And let me tell you, fighting is great. Getting paid to fight's even better. I actually financed my college books one year just from my fighting. That was awesome. It was one of those, I get to go out and beat the hell out of people and get paid to do it. Sign me up.
Yeah, my first group, and that was like a mercenary group.
Yeah,
that was great.
It's such a great time.
The group that I'm in now, it's like a Land Connect kind of theme. That's where
Landconnect?
That's where I look is these days.
Okay. And you have the off-colored hose and the...
Yeah.
Yeah, they're interesting fighters, and they're no
Nothing
joke.
Better than getting paid for it, though. That's
Exactly. You said your gloves are Darkwoods?
Yeah.
How are you liking them so far? The other thing, how are you liking the Darkwood?
Yeah, they are.
And do they have like back plating in the gauntlet? Okay.
They have a version that does. These are the white ones. I just bought them sort of.
Okay. Because doing the Rus Viking, you still.
They brought people back in the woods. Wait.
Exactly. Yeah. It's one of those. I have seen more TikToks from Penzic this year than I have any year previous, and I love it. I wasn't able to go to war this year, and I just love being able to at least get glimpses of it. I may not be able to be there, but I can be there in spirit at least. Where the hell? Oh, there it is.
so I couldn't really have the best what's going on out there as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I appreciate all of the clips from It's Feeding the Fuel. Since I've not been able uh, to do the mercenary work the same way I used to could, what I do or what I did after I had buggered up my knee was I worked by kidnapping the. I was holding a stick in my mouth. What the hell? I just kidnapped the king of the East. Or kidnap, just kidnap the king. It's okay. Ransom him back.
Right.
And depending on who's king, sometimes that's as easy as, look, I've got booze, I've got women, I've got mead, come with me. I want to leave camp. No, you're not leaving camp. Why am I not leaving camp? Because I've got 3 two-chuck dogs that say you aren't. Not until you're paid for. I've got 3 two-chuck dogs that say otherwise. If you try to leave camp, they'll pick you up and bring you back. Because, working with the two-chucks, they're not subtle about how they pick people up.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've had a couple stories about that in my life.
So no shit, there I was drinking with the two-chucks. And it's going to be one of those oh dear stories when it starts off with I was drinking with the two-chucks. Just like so no shit, there I was down at Vlad's.
All right.
Stories that start that way are similar.
Yeah.
Or I guess it's not Vlad's, but it's always going to be Vlad's in my mind. The first 30-some years of it being Vlad's, it's still Vlad's.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not glad that bad things happen, but I'm glad that it is a safer experience for people because of the bad things.
True.
I would rather people have a safer experience about it.
Yeah.
There was one of the TikToks I ran across was one of the ladies who spends most of her war working not at Troll, but at doing some of the back ending stuff. And she said, yes, I've had horror stories of people coming from being assaulted. And it's my job to make sure that the general population doesn't know it happened. If we do our jobs right, nobody knows that happened. And it's not that they're trying to hide it. It's that the general population doesn't need to know these things. So we can all have a safe and an enjoyable war. And I really do appreciate all the folks who do put in that extra work. So those of us who go out on the field, those of us who entertain, those of us who do the other things, we can focus on what we're doing. I really appreciate.
Just from what I was gonna say, I'm so happy, even just from what I covered live, of just like the normal stuff, like that we can talk about and show from Pensick on the video, that there's people interested in coming.
Exactly. It's amazing that people are able to see it and they're like, I want to go do this. And for those that haven't done it, find your local SCA group. They are more than happy to help you.
Yeah.
If you want to get into the fighting, great. If you don't want to get into the fighting, that's great too. There's so much about medieval culture that there is somebody who knows something. It may not be in your local shire, your local barony, whatever, but we all have connections outside of.
Oh, for
Maybe
sure.
you're into doing the clerical work and the illuminating of documents. And I love those people. They are great people, and often have the second dirtiest jokes of Penzic.
Yeah.
I mean, you want the dirty jokes, go to the battlefield.
Yeah. Yeah,
uh,
actually, the field fighting tournament, they didn't just win. They actually had a scroll. The winner got a scroll, which was pretty neat. I like the art.
oh, that's awesome. Yeah, the A&S tent is amazing to hang out in.
Yeah.
Uh, the other thought that I had, instead of being on the field and swinging, maybe, hi kiddo, uh, maybe work as a siege engineer.
Oh yeah. Yeah, people love the siege engines on the videos.
Yeah,
Like the new.
and siege engines are cool. Yeah, you get to see something really big, really cool, and it's very simple how they're made,
Yeah.
but maybe that's how I get back into fighting, is working as a siege engineer or as a combat archer, where it's less on my legs, just because unfortunately most of the time I'm on a cane anymore. So that kind of, it slows me down. I'm either on a brace that
Yeah.
locks out my
Well,
knee or my
there's
cane.
my friend Patty at camp. He got into archery because he broke his.
Uh-oh, it froze on me. You were saying it froze on me there for a second.
My friend Patty at camp, so he got into the archery because he broke his neck like a couple years ago, and he can't do the fighting anymore.
Okay.
Salmon, what's up, Salmon? So yeah, so he does archery because in archery, for anybody out there who doesn't know, like you have to worry about getting clobbered by something in the head.
Yeah. I mean, you still got to wear the appropriate armor and the appropriate gear, but you don't got to worry about being clobbered.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Quiet today? It's okay being quiet. You're allowed to be quiet. Oh my. Now, with your fighting, Bachata,
Uh-huh.
are you normally
Yeah.
sword and buckler?
I usually am.
Okay.
A lot of people use punch shields, but I'm not really a fan of punch shields.
Okay.
I like that I can do other things.
Twist and
For
manipulate
hitting
and
the
move with that.
Yeah, like for hitting the dummy, it's just like punches. But in general, you can have a lot more. Oh, when we were fighting in the steel tournament up at Pensick, like one of the rounds went probably 20 hits before either of us scored 5 points. Just a lot more active blocking and stuff.
Yeah, the active
But for hitting
blocking, and that's kind of the difference between a melee battle and a one-on-one battle, that you get a lot of active blocking in the one-on-ones, or like the 1v30, the 1v50, or did anybody do their century this year?
I believe so. They had. I don't. I think it was on the weekend. I think.
Okay. Middle weekend?
But the thing is, my daughter had a horse show, and I don't live too far from Pensick, so we had to go do that. And I think we missed a couple of the things on the weekend.
Wait a minute. You're not too far from Cooper's Lake? I'm not far from there either.
Oh no, I live in like Washington.
You're in
Like
Washington?
south.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in Franklin. Franklin Oil
Yeah.
City.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Huh.
It's amazing that we live so close to each other, and it took an international app to actually meet each other.
Right. Yeah. So you're an Esselmark then, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm
Shire of
just.
Hunter's Home.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm just not active enough where I know enough people here. 'Cause at Pensick, I camp with Atlantia, and I fight with
Okay.
Atlantia.
Yeah, I stay with Hunter's Home, which is a Roos Viking camp.
Okay.
Uh,
That's
and
cool. Yeah.
the last
Yeah. Go
time I
ahead.
kidnapped the king, uh, his Highness Sir Rurik was king. He was so easy to kidnap. He was so easy. It was like, look, I've got belly dancers, and all of a sudden he's like, I'm in. I don't care. I know I'm getting kidnapped. I don't care.
Really hurt. Yeah, we got some it's crazy. The best thing about Pensick, better than steel fighting, is the stories. There's
Oh
so much
yeah,
in the
better.
SCA. Like I love Boohurt because it's the rough physical stuff, and you don't have to just worry about getting hit once. But the SCA,
There's so much
the
more
battle
involved in the
scenarios.
SCA. Yeah,
Uh,
it's living it.
yeah, the last one.
The
Yeah,
SCA
yeah.
is really about living the life, not
East.
just an aspect. East rules. Of
Yeah.
course, I always love
Hey,
hearing
the
the
East was
story
pretty
of the
good.
first Pensick.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
The king of the East declares war on the king of the West, and then the only king to declare war on himself and lose.
Yeah. It
I
would be
think
cool
that
if we
would
got
be
Squires like.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That would be amazing. Oh,
My daughter is usually my squire at events, but she doesn't come to my events so much anymore.
no shit, there it was.
The
Yep.
first,
Fizzball.
yeah, Fizzball. Yep. My
How was
friend, the
Fizzball
first
this
time
year?
we took one of my friends to one of the. What's that?
How was Fizzball? Did you go down to see the
What were you
games?
saying about it? It kind of broke up.
How was Fizzball this year?
But well, I guess one of the first times one of my friends. Oh, yeah, I didn't get to go down. I remember when it was, but my daughter and I were doing something.
Okay.
But, I
Uh-oh.
remember when they were.
It's breaking up here. There we go. That broke up a little bit. I don't know if it was just for me
Should have just went down
or
to it. You know, I wonder if I put this. I'm gonna put this camera on the other side. I don't know
that
if that's
might.
my internet that's dropping this or what.
Yeah. We'll get her figured.
Might be a little better. Yeah. One of the first times we took one of my the Pensick. I don't know why it keeps skipping and lagging. Yeah, see
Oh my. We'll see how that goes. It looks like it's going pretty good.
Yeah.
So far.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
I know you a better set. Fizzball, the first time that we took one of my friends to Pensick, he did Fizzball. He loved it. He did that thing where you played that game where you with the cabbage that you hold in your dress.
Oh yeah.
Elga ball. And then we went out to that Northman, is that who it is? I think down by they have like the Viking kind of theme where they do Hell Night, and
Yeah, Hell Knight.
and he was wrestling in like a unicorn mask in his underwear and like oil and glitter against like some other guy in a horse mask. It was like the best time he ever had in his life.
Oh my God, yeah. One of my other favorites is so no shit. There was Miss Swampy.
Oh, I don't know, Miss Swampy.
The Miss Swampy is for camps in the swamp, and they have a beauty pageant in the middle of the swamp. You are fully encouraged to bribe the judges.
Oh, okay.
So no shit. There was. I was working with. I was down there with the Campbells, and the Campbells stay with the Rogues. We built a gas-powered blender to make frozen, frosty, alcoholic beverages for the judges.
All right.
The Rogues won that year for some reason. I'm thinking plying the judges with margaritas and pina coladas did its job.
Are you talking about Rogues like down by the river that has the river right through their camp?
Yep.
All right. Robin, you know Robin, the bartender down there?
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, that's he was like my favorite out of everybody because he would have all these like elixirs and stuff for certain things. Like he's like, "Are you fighting tomorrow?" I'd be like, "Yeah." He's like, "This one's just especially for you."
Yep. Robin's cool. Then, so my weirdest experience fighting at Penzic was as close as I've gotten to very traditional berserker fighting.
Okay.
Because what I wasn't told when I had breakfast was I had special fungal breakfast. Not just mushrooms in my omelet, but they were special mushrooms. So I'm out on the field tripping balls. Best day ever. Best fight ever. I don't suggest it unless you've had experience with that beforehand.
Yeah.
Not so much the fighting on that, but having experience with special mushrooms.
A true breakfast of champions.
Yeah. Alistair surprised me with a special omelet. He's like, "Eat this. You'll love it. You'll have a great day." And far be it for me to turn down a good omelet, and Alistair is a hell of a cook. So I'm like, all right, I'm having an omelet for breakfast. This is good, high protein. It'll keep me fed for the morning, and it was field battle day.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man. Field battle was amazing. Field battle was amazing.
Did it hit before you knew what happened, or someone had to tell you?
It hit about middle of the battlefield, and I took a hit to the head. I'm like, wait a second here. I didn't feel that. Oh, shit. Damn it, Alistair. I took a hit to the head, but I was going town. Granted, I was probably fighting shit that wasn't there, but I was having the time of my life.
Oh, man.
That was when I still had the, as I like to term it, the helm of inspiration.
Okay.
A sugar loaf.
Uh-huh.
And everybody says, why is that the helm of inspiration? Because that son of a bitch rings like a bell if you take a hit in it.
Yeah.
It rings like a bell and it won't stop. It inspires you to get a better helmet.
Yeah, I can see that. One of my helmets, it's a great helm, and it my old helmets, and if you got hit in that, I actually think I needed to wear earplugs inside of it.
Yeah, I felt like earplugs would have done wonders inside of that sugar loaf. Now Now I've got that's all riveted together
Yeah.
and has the chainmail below the eyes. But what I'm working on is getting enough horsehair because, as you can see, I've got the regular Norse beard kind of thing going on. I'm working on getting enough horsetail to braid into the chainmail to have a full beard on the outside. Where not only do I have the Norse beard, my helmet has the beard.
Yeah, yeah. Huh.
And the whole point of that is intimidation factor.
Yeah.
Because
so much you can do with your how you look to be intimidating.
yeah, you don't have to be the best fighter on the field. You just have to look like it sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's enough for somebody to say, fuck this, I'm out. I ain't messing with that guy.
Yeah. There was somebody out in, this year out in the battlefield who had this helmet with these horns, and it just because of his look, you know, you would just think he's got to be like the best dude or like the leader of the whole entire army.
Yeah, and those are the folks that they get to pick and choose the fights they're in, so to speak.
Yeah.
When you have a certain look about you, when you carry yourself in a certain way, you get to pick and choose those fights. Versus everybody in the brother saying, "Oh, target of opportunity."
Yeah.
You know. I have to laugh at this. Wasn't me, but somebody that I was fighting with during the field battle. One of my favorite stories. He outran all of us. He outran the shield wall.
Okay.
And he's got a pole arm. Okay. And he runs right through and he bursts through their shield wall and realizes everybody's facing the other direction. So real quick and real sly, he turns around and acts like one of the other guys and works his way up to the front of their shield wall. And he's fucking around with people, not really, kind of half-heartedly. And we see him. We know who it is.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, he'd foul the shield wall enough to give us a good target for good attack.
Yeah.
And piss off. He'd just piss off their shield wall, which is great. Eventually, he gets a tap on the shoulder.
Yeah.
He gets this tap on the shoulder. He's like, yeah, just a minute. Because he's excited because he's getting all these assists.
Yeah.
And he gets a tap on the shoulder harder. He's like, this is going to hurt, isn't it? Turns around and it's 4 knights behind him. It's like, yeah, you got me. I'm gone. I'm gone. Thanks, guys. And only if you've ever fought in a melee like that would you understand how funny the whole situation becomes. Where it's the I'm excited, I'm going to keep trucking along it. Why is everybody facing the other direction? Oh.
One of my friends in the camp where I'm at, like in Atlanta, so I guess it's been 2 years ago, and he was just kind of walking along. He used a spear, and he's kind of just walking along the outside, and he made his way all the way over to where the other. He looked like he was walking back to their. It wasn't a. I don't remember.
Their res point.
What's that?
Okay.
He was kind of
back to their res point or muster.
Yeah, and he's walking back, you know, kind of like, and then he just got to the point where he's beside the whole line, and he's going, excuse me, my lord, and they'd turn and he'd be like, you're dead. Walk up.
Bam.
You're dead. And one of them was.
Bam.
One of them was one of the kings, you know, and he was like you're dead. And he's like, excuse me, did you just stab me in the face with a spear? He's like, I did, your majesty. He's like, it's up to you. You're going to take the shot? And the guy was like, yeah, and walks off. So, yeah, stab the king in the face.
Boom.
Yeah.
Excuse me, my lord.
Yeah.
You're dead. Yeah, that. See, I was one of those weird ones that I trained very much the Viking way. So I had spear and buckler.
Uh-huh.
I didn't carry a full round shield. I carried a buckler
Okay.
um, with a spear, just so I had the ability to drop the spear and work Axon board or Saxon board.
Yeah, all right.
It's the if the spear's getting fouled, if I need to backpedal, I need to change tactics.
Yeah.
It's never above me to drop the weapon, go to something else.
Right.
Which a lot of folks don't train transitions like that because I don't know if it's that they just don't want to train that transition or that they find it difficult. But realistically, that kind of a transition is very useful.
Right, yeah.
Going from a primary to a secondary to whatever you can get your hands on.
Uh-huh.
I find that to be a very useful trick that a lot of folks don't utilize, especially spearmen. Folks with pole arms, folks with spears. Once they get in under your guard, man, just drop that backpedal and change tactics.
Yeah, I'm surprised more people don't. You're right. I know,
It's
like in the steel fighting thing, if you have a pole arm, it's great that if it becomes the point where you don't need it, you just pull out like a one-hander up from your belt.
yeah, you just pull something nice from your belt, something small, easy to work with.
Yeah, if things change.
And it's as things change because, well, yeah, starting out a spear or a pole arm is great, but that might not continue to be the case.
Yeah, for sure. At least carry a dagger or something.
Yeah, a measure core, a sax, something.
Yeah.
Something extra is always well worth it.
Yeah.
Or, as I like to term it, can openers.
Yeah.
It's just which can opener are we using? The long distance can opener, the short distance can opener,
Yeah.
The Warhammer, which is the thuddy can opener.
Yeah. Yeah. They all have. Yeah, there's so many situations where you can use a can opener later on in the fight.
Yeah.
A lot of cans open out there sometimes.
Yeah. It's amazing how many people don't train transitioning. They focus on something and then when it doesn't work, they're like, what do I do? What do I do?
Yeah.
Let's see here if I can find that message, kiddo. Which, by the way, that TikTok daughter of Toast, that's my TikTok daughter in here.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. It's okay to be quiet. And like I said, kiddo, like I told you last night, sometimes you gotta let things run their course. Eventually things will go back to the status quo. Or you'll find a new status quo that is acceptable. Without getting into too much detail, I want to at least address what's going on for her. Because, it's mental health related and feeling like she's losing people that are important to her.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to let things run their course and they'll go back to the status quo eventually.
Yeah.
Sucks in the moment, but the important people will always be there for you.
Yeah, important people will.
And that goes for in life that goes on the battlefield, that goes wherever.
Uh-huh.
I have had many, many great conversations, many times of being picked up off the field where, sure, it's somebody from another kingdom, somebody who I'm not, I got bought by the East or I got bought by Ethelmark, and it's the West that picks me up, or maybe it's Antir that picks me up.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, "You okay? Here, let's get you off the field. Let's get you some water. Make sure that you're okay."
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, just dump some water on my brain bucket here to cool me off. I was enjoying the laying for a minute because, man, I'm about spent.
Yeah.
And it's some fighter who, yeah, 20 minutes earlier I was probably ready to square up with him. He's like, "No, I'll pick you up. I'll take you off the field. I'll make sure you're safe."
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of the SCA with how we fight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and the other beauty of it is, in the event of zombie apocalypse, we're probably the most popular people around because we don't really need modern technology. We have armor. We know how to use swords.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
We're probably pretty good.
Yeah. With us. And huge amount, so many of us in that community.
Yeah.
Every neighborhood probably has one of us nearby.
Yep. It's the guy who's got the armor, so not afraid to go up against the zombie because they ain't biting through steel.
Yeah. There's actually the from a couple years ago, one of the my YouTube videos, the thumbnail I used was a battle where the thumbnail, it was a hold, and they were like getting people up, and it was someone from the other side that was pulling up someone
Helping up.
Yeah, someone on the other side. It's a pretty cool photo.
Yeah.
Just making sure the guy's all right. What's up, Aziz? Making sure the guy's all right, getting him up, so he can get out of the way.
Exactly. It's a great sport to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Because a hold gets called and we go from "I'm gonna tear your head off" to "All right, how you doing?" "Hey, how you doing? How's your family?"
Yeah.
Oh, hold's over. Time to tear your head off again.
Yeah. It's really awkward though, holds whenever you're standing there and I'm with Atlantia and then I'm across a bunch of people from Ethelmark. They're like, "Hey," they're like, "Oh, what are you doing?" They're like, "Just fighting with Atlantia." Like,
just
what?
fighting.
I'm like, yeah, I was like, I've been on the back of the golf cart, and or something like that, I was on the back of a pickup truck one time, and a golf cart went by with the king and queen from Ethelmark, and they saw me. They were like, "Traitor!"
Hey, I go where the money is.
Yeah.
I freely admit that, and that's a very normal from Viking culture, which that's what I do. That's very normal. We go where the money is.
Thanks, Aziz. Yeah, for sure.
You want us to go away? You pay us enough. We go away and we leave you alone. You want us to fight for you? You pay us enough. We fight for you. It's just how history worked.
Uh-huh.
If there's enough gold and silver and booty involved, I'm down.
Yeah, it's very historically accurate.
It is. And it's, there's some folks, I've always wanted to, I'd need to borrow armor to do it, but I've always wanted to end up in a phalanx of the Legion.
Mm-hmm.
Just to try that once.
That would be cool.
To try that style of fighting.
Yeah.
So the local shire is they're just down the road from me, where they have an abandoned garage that they bought for fighter training and fighter practices, etc.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But at Penzic, we live. Do you remember where the top of Abandoned Hope is?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we're right at the top of Abandoned Hope.
All right.
That's where we live. So it's nice, it's chill,
Uh-huh.
and those of us that fight, yeah, it's a little bit of a haul to get to the field, but better living situation. So
Yeah.
trade offs. And for folks like me that go and entertain at night too, because I play the Middle Eastern percussion,
Okay.
it's really convenient to just fall down the hill, more or less.
Yeah.
Fall down the hill and I'm right at the parties. And I can go and be entertaining.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's actually kind of funny because this year, when my daughter and I were walking around up around where you stay, I was saying like that's probably a great spot for if you're just heading to war, or if you know.
Yeah, it is a wonderful spot. Even as a fighter, it's a wonderful spot.
Uh-huh.
It's just you got to plan getting to the field because obviously you're yay so far away.
Yeah.
And instead of being completely dressed in your armor, what I found easier is I carried a little collapsible wagon and just had about half of my stuff was in the wagon for the walk up and back. Yeah. So I didn't wear myself out getting there. And then get there, finish getting dressed, finish putting my armor on. That, and it also was helpful. It's like, I can't quite get this as tight as I want it. Hey, you might come over here and ratchet me in.
Right, yeah.
I'm actually updating what I have in armor as I'm engineering that knee cop. To be the halberd with a little bit of hard plate on top rather than which is, again, that's a very normal Norse and Rus Viking thing to do, where you had your halberd of chainmail, which fits the minimum requirements, but I'm sorry, those fighting in minimum requirements, yes, I'm looking at any of the two chucks in the room. Y'all are nuts.
There's people out there with just like some elbows and a helmet, and then whatever they have on their legs.
Yeah, elbows, helmet, a little bit of legs, a kidney belt. It's like, man, you guys are nuts. So I'm going from more full plate down in armor. I'm actually lightening up my load, going to the halberd, a breastplate with shoulders, because, man, taking a shot on the shoulder without a piece of steel there is just, that's murder.
Yeah.
Obviously, helmet and gorget, which you need. But what I'm doing I'm doing two funny things. One is I'm actually taking my plate carrier for my ballistic plates and using that as the pattern for my medieval plates. And I'm going to end up putting a piece of AR 500 steel in the center of leather. So it'll be a leather outer with a steel center.
Yeah, that's such a good idea. Like I have a... Yeah. Some ideas.
The other I'm doing with it is, instead of using regular roller buckles, I have, because I used to work for Honeywell in the fall protection division, making harnesses. So the quick releases that the fall protection harnesses use?
Yeah.
I have tons of those. And I'm thinking, instead of having regular roller buckles to buckle myself in, use the quick releases, which are nice to get out of because it's just, you just pinch it. It's not as historically accurate, certainly, but if ever I get seriously hurt, it gives the Kyurgens something really easy to get a hold of and get me out of that armor if they have to.
Right, yeah, it would.
And I'm absolutely certain, had that technology existed in the 1100s, in the thousands, in the 1600s, etc., they'd have been using it.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah.
It's um, I do a lot of native powwows as well, and one thing that always gets brought up by elders is if we had this technology, we would have used it. If we had Zippo lighters, we would have used them.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not about making life harder. If we had the technology, we used it. If we could beg, borrow, or steal it, we used it.
Uh-huh.
You look at Norse culture, at the Rus culture, it was beg, borrow, and steal. It's that works really good. That's better than what I got. I'm going to find a way to get my hands on that and adjust my stuff to have the better thing.
Right.
That's why it's so eclectic, that you see Roman influence in Norse art, you see French influence, you see German influence, you see English influence, or well, at that time it was Saxon influence, and you see everywhere that they went, they picked up a little bit of something. That, hey, that works really good. I'm going to take that home and figure out how to do that myself.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't, oh, this is somebody that we fought against, and I'm not going to touch their stuff. No, that works really damn good. I'm using it.
Right, yeah. I mean, it happens still today. Stuff like that.
Yeah. You look at, sure, early on in the Viking era, you had the Ossenberg tent, which is a nice big wedge tent. Beautiful, wonderful to live in. Later, you got, as they made it to different areas, you saw, instead of just having the Ossenbergs, which they're wonderful to live in, but man, those poles are hard to deal with, being that they're 5 meters long.
Yeah.
You know, dealing with your poles is a little bit of an issue when you've got something 4 or 5 meters long to deal with. It becomes an issue. So they started picking up wall tents, and they started picking up all these other. You saw square pavilions, you saw bell tents, you saw all sorts of other. It was just whatever you could get your hands on that worked for you.
True, yeah, right.
It's not. Now you saw the decorations and the art was very Norse or very Rus, but you never really saw the, oh well, like the French were very much into the bell tents and the round pavilions. That was their thing, and good on them. But you didn't really see French using wedge tents. You didn't see them using square pavilions. You saw them in round pavilions.
True, yeah.
Wedges were for the common foot soldier because it was the cheapest thing available. It was the cheapest way to give them some shelter.
True, yeah.
Exactly. I find it just amazing that just the, and granted, I take it with a grain of salt that yes, I have that very Viking persona within the SCA that.
Oh, Bob, I am counting in my head, and we're keeping track on here.
Yep. If it works and it looks good, I'm using it. If it don't look good, I'll make it look good.
Yeah.
One thing that surprises me, and for some of those first starting out. Yeah. I like to term it, I have the body of a god. Okay, it's a Norse god. Okay, I've got the body of Thor. And for those that don't realize it, Thor was not a small man, and he wasn't swole. Or he wasn't ripped, he was swole.
Yeah, right, right.
You know, man had a beer gut. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's what all fathers blessed me with, and I work with it.
Right.
There is nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. And if something worked better, you're saying, like, anything I found to work better back then when technology it doesn't advance.
It was moving so slowly, and yet at the same time so very rapidly in certain things.
There'll be some things like that you pick up, and I would try and same thing, if it works for me, do that, and try and if I can make it better, make it better. Why live like a caveman? When you find something from another country or something that they've been doing that's so much nicer and better.
Exactly. Bowflex effort.
It's different like the swords, and you put the band at the end of the sword.
Yeah. Now, is that one of the cold steel swords? One of the cold steel trainers?
Yeah, I use it because I actually like my tournament saber I use for boo hurt. It's not like a full tang. It actually, the blade goes into the grip and it's riveted in with 2 rivets. And I actually snapped the bottom rivet from using it so much, I guess. So I figured I just kind of use this. I use some other steel swords on here, but I really don't feel like breaking out the longsword today. But yeah, it's like $19.95 for one of these.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah.
But one thing that surprises me with folks that are just getting into and maybe, oh, great, get to hold the grandson.
Nice.
Yay. It surprises me more that for folks getting into medieval reenacting and they're looking at their first pavilion, they get scared in a way.
Yeah.
Because, okay, yeah, putting up a traditional pavilion, there's a lot to it. But I'll tell you what I found works and is, ooh, thank you, kiddo. I'm just looking for a company that could make me a different cover for. Easy ups.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised more people don't use easy ups. They're so simple to put up. And if you get them in, well, pretty much anything but blue, most of the colors that Easy Up offers are, historically speaking, pretty normal to see. It's not unheard of to see somebody who has a red tent or a green tent or a white tent or beige or etc. If you had the money to do it, you did it.
Yeah.
Blue is the only weird one because blue dyes are so difficult to come by.
It was a harder color to make.
Exactly. Up until about 1200 when the production of woad really took off in the UK, in Wales and in England. And then woad blue, which is very specific. But the cool thing about woad blue, I don't know if you've ever used it as a dye or not.
I haven't.
When you're dyeing something, the dye itself is clear.
Oh, okay. Huh.
And it's made from woad plant. And what they don't tell you about is 2 things. One, woad is highly hallucinogenic.
Oh no! All right.
Okay, so dyeing clothing and dyeing textiles will get you elevated like none other. Um, it's a contact issue
Yeah.
and it soaks into your skin, but it's a clear dye that when it reaches air, it oxidizes and turns blue.
Okay. Huh.
And it's the oxidation of that dye that makes it blue.
Okay.
Um, so, blue, if you are in the early part of the medieval period, is a rarity.
Hmm.
But as you reach the mid to late medieval period, it becomes more and more common.
Yeah.
Granted, you got to have a lot of money to have blue things.
Oh, for sure. Right.
Um, so that's why you see blue in trim and in little things because that's a sign of wealth.
Right. Okay.
That's a big wealth marker.
The more blue you got, the more money you're spending or have.
Yeah, exactly. So for somebody, and there's nothing against the folks who show up on the field and have all blue armor,
Yeah.
but to do that, you got to be freaking loaded.
Yeah. Huh.
Now, granted, I am a big fan of folks who take pickle barrels and make armor out of it.
Oh,
I'm a
yeah.
big fan of that because it's super functional, it does the job,
Uh-huh.
and it's a great way to get started. I am not so much of a purist to say, no, you should really be wearing steel. I'll say you should try steel,
Uh-huh.
try it, and fight in steel once versus fighting in that pickle barrel that is, your armor weighs 30 pounds, your armor weighs 100 pounds. Try that difference and you'll get a real appreciation for why some of us decided, nope, I'm wearing less armor because I really don't like having heat stroke.
Yeah.
Um,
Plus, I mean, my steel armor is so hard to maintain to keep it from getting rusty.
oh, absolutely. Still, the maintenance on it is just insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you had squires
Yeah. Yeah.
and and as much as it sounds terrible, um, to keep your whites white, your white textiles, so like your linen undergarments,
Uh-huh.
and to keep your armor in shape and in good shape, your steel pieces. It
Uh-huh.
sounds disgusting, but stale urine.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was washed in stale urine, and the whole point of that is it keeps the whites whiter because it interacts with sunlight, and they were obviously just hanging to dry.
Uh-huh.
They were hanging
Yeah.
on the line to dry these things, but it also has a rust preventative quality.
Huh.
So after the battle, when you're cleaning the mud and the refuse off of armor, it was sand, like river sand,
Uh-huh.
that real fine, not play sand fine, but river sand,
Okay.
and stale urine was used with a little bit of water, and you polish the armor with that.
Huh. Never knew that.
Yeah, historically, it's terrible, but at the same time, it works.
Right. I wonder who figured
Um,
how they figured that out the first time.
yeah, that also goes into who figured out that oysters. Let me eat this booger out of a shell. Who figured that one out?
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. I wonder who the first person to figure that out was, and how excited they had to have been that. All right, everybody, piss in a bucket. I got some cool shit to show you.
Yeah. Or like, like lobsters and stuff used to be like crap food for people back then, but then now it's like it's so expensive. Like now it's a luxury, but back then, that's what people just ate. Like
Oh
a
yeah,
junk.
there's a law still on the books in Maine that prisoners shall not be fed lobster more than 3 times a week
Yeah.
because lobster was just such a poor man's food that they used to feed prisoners.
Right.
Um, and now it's such a delicacy. And it's like, man, lobster's good, but I don't know if it's $25 a pound good.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Give me a
Times.
good steak any day.
Oh, right. Oh, we had steak night up at camp. That was the best night. We
Oh,
had
I bet.
we had royalty come over for dinner, so we had to make them something good.
Nice. Um, I have a recipe that I want to try out that was on Binging with Babish.
Yeah.
It was either on Binging with Babish or on Tasting History, which I watch both of those a lot to get historical recipes and cooking shows.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
they're interesting. It was a stew with lingonberry.
What?
And it
What?
was a pork stew, lingonberry.
Oh, all right. All right.
Uh, and it was taken from an illumination, not from Lindisfarne proper, but from that region. So it would have been something fairly common, and pork and sheep are fairly common meats to be eating at that time.
Okay.
And it looks amazing. But all it is it's boiled root vegetables. So you got potatoes, carrots, some onions, the basic tubers.
Uh-huh.
You sear off the outside of you cube down your pork, like a pork loin, and cube that down, sear it off real quick, and then throw it in and boil the piss out of it.
Uh-huh.
And it looks amazing.
Sounds amazing.
That and a good brown bread to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. That'll fill you up nice, hearty, and real simple because hey, simple is good. It's something that I can throw in a Dutch oven and let just hang over the fire all day.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Actually, that kind of when you talked about bread, it reminds me. So up at Pensick, my daughter and I took a class on like medieval manners,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them so they're so the class is around like the 1470s on average, and one thing was how you would when they'd have say you made something like that, you would take bread. Everyone would throw their bread in the pot to soak up the juicy part of the meal instead of using spoons, or put it in a cup. I guess they would do that. Then you take your bread out because you wouldn't want to get people's tablecloths and things dirty, and for other
Exactly.
reasons too. Or instead of sauce, you wouldn't just pour sauce on your plate. You'd soak your bread
You
in it.
dip the item, yeah, you dip your bread in the sauce. Just like salt was very, very gingerly used.
Yeah.
So many things that were used in small amounts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not like today you get a bottle of ranch dressing and put it on there. You take your bread, or like salt. They're saying the proper way to do it was to get it out with your knife. Maybe that's so you're not like taking all of it. You get it with your little knife.
Right, you're knifing it out.
Yeah.
Right, you have an eating knife, not a general purpose knife, and that eating knife you would take just what you needed.
Right.
The manners are highly intricate in the medieval period.
Uh-huh.
And then there's folks that, with manners, I come across I love when people say chivalry is dead. No, chivalry is not dead. Chivalry is a code of combat that happens to have some manners with it.
Yeah.
It's not the pulling out the chair for your lady. It's not holding the door for women. It's not those things. It's first and foremost, it's a code of combat.
Right.
The other manners is what you're alluding to, and that's an entirely different story.
Uh-huh.
Chivalry isn't dead. It's just we don't fight that way no more.
Yeah. Right. Totally different.
Chivalry says that it is improper for a highly trained knight to attack a foot soldier. It is improper for him to do this. It is dishonorable to do this because the knight has spent his life training and is an expert in this.
Uh-huh.
The foot soldier, on the other hand, is not. And he is most likely a farmer or a peasant of some nature that has been given just enough training to stay alive.
Yeah. And who probably has a really crappy weapon, if it is even a weapon at all.
Exactly. So it's very improper for an armored knight to attack the foot soldier. It is perfectly okay for him to defend himself as is necessary, but
Right.
for him to initiate that encounter is improper.
Uh-huh.
Which, that's one of those ones that comes right off the top of my head that, wait a second here. The most trained person on the battlefield isn't supposed to be taking out masses of people. He's supposed, for him to have an honorable combat, he should be seeking out folks of his own station.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
Which makes perfect sense. That's like taking a kid that's in kindergarten and putting them in a science competition with Stephen Hawking. It's not fair.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And there's no participation trophies involved.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, participation trophies, they do have their place in the world, but I remember growing up without them, that you win or you lose, and it made you a better person.
Yep.
From you won, you felt great. You lost, it gave you something to work for.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's lost on modern society.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, that there's a lot of things that from the Middle Ages and from the past that have been lost on society.
Yeah. We grew up playing soccer. You get first, second, or third, and nothing if you got fourth or worse.
Yeah. I mean, it gave you something to strive for, a real sense of pride when you did achieve.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't get a medal or anything that just showed we even played a single game the whole year. Nope.
Yeah.
You got your T-shirt from your team. That's about it.
Yeah, you had your team shirt, and you had your bruises and your contusions and cuts and such.
Yeah.
But there wasn't the, hey, you tried. And there is a certain sense of pride that comes from being able to accomplish things like that.
Uh-huh.
And I do think that that's been lost on the world.
It has. Some things are different. Like my daughter does horses, and they have first through eighth place. So you do get last is eighth place. So if there's more than that, you don't get to 10th or something. But in general, it's usually 8 people, and you get it. There are 8th place ribbons, but that's just
okay.
They do. It's not like.
And there's a lot that goes into equestrian work. There is a ton, and I have a lot of respect for the folks that do it.
Yeah.
Because not only do you have to train with your horse, but you have to care for. You have to take care and brush them, feed them, muck the stalls, all of those little things.
Uh-huh.
And that helps to build a bond with your animal as well.
Right.
There's so many back ending things that go into that, where I have no problems if you want to recognize to 8th or 10th place, by all means, because there's a lot of work that goes into that. For kids at the county fair kind of thing. And, you know, our county fair recognizes out to like 5th place.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of work that these kids put into raising these animals. So I have no problems with recognizing that you put in a lot of work.
Oh.
You put in a lot of work. And maybe it's a difference of, for like market hogs, maybe it's the difference of you fed your market hog table scraps and such, and they fed theirs a more organic diet, and theirs came in maybe 50 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. Different strokes for different folks. I'm all for learning from this quality on this hog is more desirable. Great. How do I get to that quality?
Yeah.
And it's funny that a lot of the kids, they'll sit and kibitz with it. Ooh, hi there, little guy.
Yeah, it kept like landing on me. I don't know, so I just picked it up off me. That's what I was looking at while you're talking. I don't know what his deal is.
Yeah.
Little bees like in a rave mode or something, but I'm gonna try and put him over the fence.
Yeah. There you go, little guy.
But anyway, yeah,
I love bees. Bees make honey. Honey makes mead. Mead makes me happy.
it's just weird because it kept landing on me. I took it off me because I have my leather gloves, but didn't try to sting me or
Yeah.
anything. Sitting there doing this thing. Maybe it's got something. Maybe it's sick or something. I don't know. 'Cause he's acting real weird. It's
Might be.
yeah. They have the whole classes about bee making. One of my campmates up at Pensick who does bees. I wish I could. I just don't have the room. I would if I could do it.
Yeah. Apiaries take a lot of room and a lot of pollinatable greenery.
Yeah.
See, I've done classes on mead making and wine making, and those are fun classes, especially when you walk away with, it's like, oh, look, my first gallon of mead or my first gallon of wine. And those are great classes to take from a standpoint of, well, if we couldn't consume it all right away, how did we preserve it?
Right, yeah.
Fermentation is a wonderful way to preserve things. The other that comes up with the fermentation is, yeah, kids had wine and mead and beer, and everybody drank that because it was safer than water.
Yeah, right.
It was safer than water, so you had the safer beverage. And that's just nature of waterborne illness. They didn't necessarily have the science to know why it worked, but the nature of making fermentations makes it work.
Right.
Because you have to boil it first, and by boiling it, you're killing all of those microorganisms. You're sterilizing the water.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know why it worked. They just know that it works.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the 1900s that we figured out why that made a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And the Thames is still terrible water. You know.
And that's really not that long ago. A lot of these things that people had no clue about before, like, we knew about germs and things like that.
Yeah,
Even
germ
like
theory didn't come about until the early 1900s. We didn't know.
even astronomy is
Uh,
that long ago, where people were thinking that, like, hey, we're the center of the universe.
exactly. Um, the world is, and yes, I turned my camera off so it doesn't yell at me for having a stick in my mouth, etc. Because this is a consumable stick that's going in my mouth. But it's amazing how much knowledge progressed from the late 1800s through the Industrial Revolution.
Hmm.
And likewise in the Renaissance, how much knowledge progressed.
Right.
The medieval period, we had lost so much and we were relearning to get back to a certain point. And then once we got back to that point, it just exploded again.
Hmm.
Uh, I was just in a conversation earlier today that I really wish that we could go back to some of the old ways. You know, the general speaking of, for the most part, people had self sufficient farms on an acre or two,
Yeah.
and sure, you may have fealty to some government, some jarls, some archduke, etc., and some responsibilities that way, but not nearly the nanny state that we see ourselves in today.
True.
Uh I really wish we could go back. Unfortunately, the genie's been let out of the bottle, and I don't see a way that it goes back, short of short of going back to an era where that's what you have to do to survive.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, I love modern technology, but I'd like to go back.
Hmm. Or they should at least have people where you could have. They have like community gardens and things, like in some areas, like down in the city of Pittsburgh, they have like community gardens and uh,
Yeah,
up in the Hill District. I remember seeing theirs is huge for the city, and people learn and come and do it. So a lot of people just don't even have space, But for people who do, more people should learn how to just even have a garden or something, or how to plant different plants around like their
yeah,
seed or things like that, and know how to grow something.
exactly. How to raise chickens, how to raise meat rabbits,
Yeah.
things of that nature that are they're being lost. They're skills that are being lost, and it's very sad.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, I am a Norse blacksmith, a carpenter, and a leather worker. You put all three together, and I can make a sword from scratch, and
Yeah.
all of the bits and pieces for it. Whereas that skill by itself is actually quite rare in the medieval period. You were either the blacksmith or the carpenter or the leather worker, but you didn't do all three.
Right. Yeah. True.
You did one piece of it. You made the blade, or you made all of the wood attachments, or you made the leather. But it took all three people to make one sword.
Right.
Uh much much like it takes a small village to make a longship.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not, that one is not because the knowledge isn't there in any one person, because part of growing up as a Norse Viking, um, you were taught how to make a ship, so that in the event that you went raiding and your ship was damaged beyond repair, or you had to scuttle it, whatever,
Uh huh.
you and the rest of the crew of that ship had the ability to make a new ship on site.
Right.
You could do the repairs. You could do all of that. So you had a mental blueprint of how to lay the boards, how to drive those nails. A Viking longship is actually not really that watertight when it's built. It's the fact that it sits in water that makes it watertight. The wood swells.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
It's clinker construction with tow and tar. So building them, they're not super watertight until you put them in water. And they got to sit in the water for a few days for the wood to swell up and actually seal up.
Okay. Yeah, I never really knew that.
Yeah. Once they sit in water, they become watertight. But initially, they suck water in like it's going out of style. They sit very high in the water when you first put them in, and then they start sinking down just a little bit. And you usually sink down about 2 boards, which is somewhat creepy.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, it's kind of creepy. It's like, is it going to float? Is it going to stay floating? I saw something really cute done with pickle barrels that I think would be really cute to do at Penzic and at big events like that. They made little long ships that could be pulled by a tractor for kids.
Oh. Yeah.
There's a little trailer that you could hook up to a lawn tractor and pull it, but it was little long ships. I was like, that is so cute. I would do something like that. If I had kids, I would do things like that for them.
That would be cool. Or even just like the fair or something.
Yeah, just something that it's cute, it's fun, it lets them enjoy it without that one bit of mundanity there.
Right.
Nothing against prams and strollers and shit like that, because some kids need that. Little kids have every right to be there and learn and experience it as well as the adults, but it does kind of take you out of the element a little bit. And something that doesn't quite take you out of the element, that's cool.
Right.
I did have a thought of trying to, those hobby horses that you can ride around on that are somewhere between bicycle and hobby horse. Yeah. I have thought, wouldn't that be cool to take one of those to Penzic, but upgrade the wheels on it so it's off-road wheels so you can actually make it up and down the way and ride one of those around?
Yeah.
That would be funny as hell to do.
Yeah, that would. That would be cool.
Or, even if you went to a Ren Fair, which, being a Scadian, I have my own issues with Ren Fairs, but they have their place. It gets people excited about the era, right, which is a good thing. Sure, there's a lot more fantasy involved, but it opens the door for a conversation.
For sure.
And the Ren Fairs do have their place in keeping a lot of the old crafts alive, too. Me being a blacksmith, you'd think glasswork would be right up my alley, too. Glass scares me.
Like making glass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole reason glass scares me is it sticks to you.
That would be bad.
Yes, it's very terrifying to me. It sticks. And that has to do with a science term that a lot of folks aren't familiar with. It's called wettability. And surface wettability of glass, when it's molten or in a semi-molten state, which is the temperatures you need to work it, it wets to human skin, which means it bonds directly to human skin. Kind of like super glue.
Right.
That's not a pleasant experience.
You said it's called wettability?
Yes. It's the whole reason that in a molten state, glass will stick to human skin, but molten aluminum bounces off of you.
Uh-huh.
The aluminum is not wettable to human skin. Steel is not wettable to human skin. Glass is.
Yeah.
Uh, and I have great respect for glass workers. My first Penzic was over 20 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Pornzik, actually. My first Penzic was Pornzik. Anyway, I helped make an Uthbelt sword.
Uh-huh.
We got 6 tons of black sand from the fjords in.
Okay.
Now, this is a very traditional Norse sword made in the traditional way that you make bloom iron from the sand. The whole reason the sands in certain fjords are black is because of the iron content in it.
Right.
That it's a very heavy iron. So you put all of the sand into a furnace and you smelt out bloom iron. Well, the byproduct of that is a shit ton of orange glass. Okay. So we separated the iron from the glass, and the glass blowers went to town on the glass.
Uh-huh.
And they offered to teach me how to blow glass. I'm like, man, that is voodoo I don't have any interest in. Because if I screw that up, it's going to stick to me. I have all the interest in the world of playing with the hot iron. Yeah, but the hot iron's hotter. It doesn't stick to me. They're like, fair enough.
Uh-huh.
Fair enough. But no, those guys, they worked their magic. We worked our magic. And there is a certain magic in doing that kind of work. Yeah. There really is. I'm surprised that more people don't get into some of these old crafts, and I know some of it's the time in modern life. That where do I fit it in modern life?
I think a lot of it is it's so easy to not do anything. There's so much to just be entertained and just like sit around to not do. You have to actually get up and do it.
Exactly. You have to put effort in, and
free time.
Yeah, unfortunately the world has gone to effortless on so many things. And I'll freely admit that there are some things that I'm like, man, this should be more effortless, ordering DoorDash or something like that. I mean, I can have food delivered to my house, ready made, and I don't have to bother with anything. I don't even have to leave the house or put pants on, and I can have food delivered right to my door. That's nice, but there's going to come a time where even the art of cooking is somewhat going by the wayside because of that.
True. Yep. Nope.
That there's something to be said about working for things versus instant gratification.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guilty of the instant gratification. I ordered something on Amazon the other day, and I was upset because it was a day late. I'm like, man, I really wanted that today. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a day late. And then I stopped and thought to myself, now wait a second here. Wait a second. Why am I getting upset over it being a day late? I'm not going to use it till next weekend.
Yeah, like Gray Matter was saying, it's so easy. Yeah, I mean, this day and age is so easy. Everything like this. You don't have to even get out of bed. You can get all your shopping done, order your food.
Yeah. It's toxic convenience. Exactly, Gray Matter. Exactly. Putting in the work I'll tell you, I much prefer fruit and veg that I planted and that I harvest to fruit and veg that I buy in the store. It's not that it's any different flavor, any different taste, but there's a certain amount of pride in the, I got off my ass, I did this thing,
Yeah.
and here's the fruits of my labor. I also find that bartering for things is much more enjoyable than shelling out greenbacks,
Mm-hmm.
because there's something that, maybe it's something that I have that to me is a random trinket and not really all that valuable, but to you it's a cat's ass.
Uh-huh.
And likewise, you have something that isn't so valuable to you, but you know, but we both come to an agreement of, hey, I really want that thing from you, and
Uh-huh.
you really want this thing from me. Let's trade things and be happy.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a purity in bartering that everybody walks away pretty happy from the exchange.
Mm-hmm.
But
The only
that
thing,
also goes to people skills that have been lost because of the convenience of technology.
right.
You can't purchase that value. You are right, Gray Matter. You cannot purchase that kind of purity and that value.
One nice thing about up at Pensick this week, our cook, we have a cook at our camp, and they made all like everything was great. We had to get some things from Cooper's store, like tomatoes, onions, and things, but I, I haven't had a single energy drink in 2 weeks. I'm gonna try and keep up that trend if I can. Um, like coffee was made in camp. Every day we had breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It was all like I mean, we had to buy most of it, but for the most part, Cooper's had everything we need for other than the meats and things that we bought. Like really nice, good, clean eating, and they're all made and pretty healthy food for 2 weeks straight.
Hell yeah. Living healthy for a few weeks out of the year. Um, I know when I do Penzic and when I do other reenactments and even powwows, uh, there are some folks that laugh at me, but I bake fresh bread.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, we're gonna get an oven next year. That's cool. You can do that.
Yeah, a Dutch oven you can bake bread in,
Uh-huh.
or you can do like I do. I use bannock bread,
Uh-huh.
which is,
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with bannock or not.
I've heard the term.
Bannock is a chemically leavened bread, not a yeast leavened bread.
All right.
So instead of using yeast to do your leavening, the bread itself is flour, like always, and use
Uh-huh.
whatever flour you want to use. If you want to use acorn flour, white flour, whatever, uh, and you use baking powder, not baking soda.
All right.
Baking soda gives it an off flavor. So you use baking powder, and I mean, nowadays you can go and buy, for lack of better terms, Bisquick mix is what you're making.
All right.
Uh, but with Bisquick mix, you can take, it's as simple as you can take Bisquick mix, add a little bit of seasonings to your liking, but it's just a pinch of sugar in there as well, and the sugar causes it to leaven, and it makes bread.
Uh-huh.
It's a very dense bread, but
Okay.
with that dense bread, it'll keep you fed all day. Just little bits, a little bite here, a little bite there,
Yeah.
keeps you fed real well.
that'd be the great stuff. Like someone in our camp makes Russian shortbread, and then we take that out
Oh,
take it out in the battlefield in your pocket. You'll be sitting there in the woods battle or
just sit
something.
there and munch on it. Yeah, munch on it when you got some downtime. Exactly. Bannock could be another one. If I think of it, I will do a next time I'm making up dry mix for Bannock. I'll have to make a video of how to do it
Oh yeah.
because the only thing once you make the dry mix up,
Uh huh.
you add either milk or water, and you want it to be almost biscuit consistency when you mix it up,
Yeah.
and you put it in a hot pan with a little bit of lard or tallow to cook.
Uh
And
huh.
it is a pan bread. It is not a baked bread.
Huh. All right.
So instead of traditional baking, you do it right in the frying pan, which makes it super accessible, super easy.
Yeah.
Ideally, you want to make your loaves about fist sized, and about 3 of those loaves feed you all day. Just keeps you from getting hungry, and it's a nice, good, it's a good wholesome carb set to have. I mean, that some smoked meats and a little bit of a hard cheese
Uh-huh.
is good eating all day.
Oh yeah, it sounds perfect. That's something everybody should learn how to make.
Yeah, being able to make bread, being able to make certain things like that should be on people's to-do lists.
Mhm.
Being able to do it, learn how to do those things, because there's going to come a day, whether it's in our lifetime or in our kids or our grandkids' lifetime, where you can't just run down to the corner store and pick up a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
And it's not trying to be, oh, gloom and doom, the world is ending. It's just we have things so easy now that learning those skills that are being lost so they don't get lost.
Hmm. Moss, what's up, Moss? Yeah, it's and even just that. Hey, if we never use that, then you pass it down, to so it never gets lost.
Exactly. I mean, there are some folks who are like, well, don't you? No, I don't charge my apprentices. I teach them everything that they need to know in how to do the craft.
Right.
Running a business side of it, I leave that to, all right, go take some business classes at the community college,
Yeah.
because they're going to teach you how to function in the modern world of business. But how to do the craft, you come to me and you want to learn the craft? Absolutely. Here's what you're going to need. You can use my tools until we get you your own tools. You're going to
Right.
get your own tools to do this. Once you are comfortable enough to say, I do want to do this, then we worry about getting you tools. There's
Yeah.
no sense in you outlaying thousands of dollars on, for like leatherwork, thousands of dollars on knives and needles and all of the different things.
Right.
No sense in you outlaying those thousands of dollars at the onset to find out this isn't for me.
Yep.
I'd rather teach you how to do it than you figure out partway through this isn't for me. Okay, that's cool. But you learned a little bit of a skill at the same time. And push come to shove, if you had to use it to survive on, you can do it.
Right. Do you, do you know Ice Falcon?
Ice Falcon. Are they an armor?
Yeah, they have a booth up at Pensick every year.
It sounds familiar. I'm not putting faces with that name.
So it's Andre, and I like Andre. I even went and said hi to him this year up at Pensick. But anyway, the way he does things is, so when I used to be like captain of his like armored combat league team out here, is that if
Mhm.
someone sent a message and was like, "Hey, how do I get into this?" He would make them buy a membership for $150 before they put them in touch with me. And then half the time, people come and then they're like, "I don't want to do this." So why do you make people spend that money? Or he'd try and get people put in armor, like immediately. And I'm his armor, so like his idea is like making some money. You know what I mean? But he gets these people to buy,
Sure.
and his armor is more expensive than anybody else's armor. And then you get these people selling these kits. Like they're looking for like $5,000 never used, and people are like, I wouldn't buy that for $2,000. But anyway, the point is like the way he operates is like not like, let's see if you like this, then you'll get your tools. His is like, buy everything now. And then
Yeah, and I don't agree with that method of teaching
yeah, me neither.
nearly as much. Just from a standpoint of you want to learn, I am happy to scratch that itch for you. I will teach you everything I know,
Uh-huh.
but I don't want you to feel like you got to have this tool, that tool, the other tool that I already have. I will teach you on my tools, and you can decide if that's the right tool for you, even because you might like a different tool better. Uh, One thing I do with my leatherworking, any of the artwork on it, I will lightly carve it, but I don't do a lot of heavy carving. And then when I go through to dye it, I go through with a tattoo gun.
Oh yeah?
So I tattoo the leather, and by tattooing the leather, the ink never fades. Or, well, it's not that it doesn't fade, it's just it lasts. It becomes an heirloom piece rather than, oh, I need
Yeah.
to re-dye this, re-dye that. No, the ink is embedded into the leather.
Is that a thing? I've never even heard of that before.
It's a rarity. And it's something I was taught. I don't know if you remember brute force leather.
I don't know that I don't know them.
Okay, brute force leather used to do Penzic. And that is who taught me leatherworking.
All right.
He primarily, Thomas is a corset maker,
Okay.
and he makes leather corsets. They are Carboli leather, so there's no steel bones or whale bones in them at all. It's just the leather itself that's holding shape and providing the support,
Yeah.
which is a really neat concept. He does wonderful work, but he tends to either laser burn in because he has the tools to do it,
Uh-huh.
or tattoo in all the artwork on the leather.
Huh. All right.
And it leads to a product that lasts longer. That's all it is it's a different way to accomplish the same goal, but it has a little bit more staying power.
Yeah. Huh.
As
I'm
morbid
definitely
as-
gonna have to. One of my friends does leatherworking. I'm definitely gonna tell him get a tattoo gun or look into it.
Yeah, look into it. They're cheap on Temu. They are really cheap. You can get all the stuff you need to start out doing that for like $100, including practice skins. So before you get onto a piece that you're trying to really do, you can get practice skins cheap and be able to practice it.
Oh, hey, Dennis, who's here, has the most awesome. Hey, Dennis, good to see you. Most awesome streaks I've seen. Like I'm hitting his dummy, but he shoots his the bow. Or I don't know, you might have seen him before even. I ran into him up at Penn.
Okay.
He's over 1,000 days in a row.
Nice.
We've all returned home. Dennis, if you're there, or I think he already left, but it was good to see you, Dennis.
1,945. Wow. Wowee. That is awesome.
I thought it was 190. Wow, almost 2,000.
Almost 2,000 days of a streak. That is amazing, my good sir. Um, that is one thing I wish I could have. I need a new bow, and I want to get a well-made Turkish bow.
Okay, yeah.
I like the Turkish horse bows.
Oh, I better say I get out every day. I'm only on day 55 of this, and I've missed a couple. It's day 55. I miss a couple days, but my goal is to do everything in a year or less. 1,000,000 hits in a year or less. So it's day
Okay.
55, but I've had at least 10 days off. It's not 55 in a row. It's 55 total. Since we started.
Okay.
Turkish bow, you were saying?
Yeah, and there's a handful of bowyers at Penzik that make absolutely beautiful work that if I had been there this year, I probably would have picked up a new bow.
Yeah.
I do like the Turkish bows. I like the look of them. I like the feel of them. It's just nothing against English longbows and other types of recurves. I really like that Turkish set.
Mm-hmm.
Just you're going to England for 2 weeks. Oh, that is awesome.
I see. I was thinking about that. Yeah, I gotcha. And now, yeah, I'll be checking out a lot of those videos too. Now we're back. Oh, for sure. Yeah, it'd be harder to do that in England. Take your stuff with you, just do it for a day. Yeah.
You have a Turkish? Nice. And you say it shoots nice. Yeah, everything that I've seen about them, it's everything that I want in a traditional bow.
Mm-hmm.
So, being on that, it's time to bite the bullet and get one.
Wow. Well, that's an awesome trip too. I've been there. I've been to a lot of places, but next year I think we're going to England. I've not been there yet.
See, I'd like to make it back to Germany and Switzerland. I had a blast the last time I was there.
I want to go to the place that's really up north. I think it's in Finland, like the closest you can get, like to the North Pole, where they actually have like a hotel and it's like Christmas themed. I can't think of what it's called.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be really cool.
Before my daughter gets too old. Scotland? Oh, nice. 13th trip.
13th trip. Wow.
I'm only on like my 5th trip of my life. That's another thing.
They filmed. Oh, that's awesome.
And if people can afford to travel overseas and see, I think that's another important thing.
Yeah, if you can afford to do it, travel is a wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
The Monty Python, the actual place where they filmed it, some of those spots.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. 'Tis but a scratch.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, there's so many times I'm filming or doing something like a live, and the comments when people come in say, "'Tis but a scratch." Like for when I'm filming live streaming the Pensick stuff or things like that. Very common comment.
Everybody remembers that line in that scene. Oh my. I need to get to a point where I have the vacation time to do TikTok. Great. Take care.
Dennis, it was good to see you again.
It's good to meet you, Dennis. And I'll look for you there.
Yo, CS was also at Pensick.
Nice.
Good times, good times. It sucks to be back to normal life sometimes.
You know, I can see it now. This year there was, and maybe it's just the algorithm showing me all of the stuff from Penzic, but it seemed to me that there was a lot more TikToks from Penzic going on than in years past.
Yeah, I usually don't film stuff like that, but I did this year. Like next year, um, I'm not doing the whole live stream. CS, I'm a take a screenshot of that if you need a can. But yeah, like I don't like to be the one walking around like live streaming and everything. Because
Yeah,
my daughter's mom, who stopped going to Pensick in like the '90s, but she's like, I can't. She's opposed to them even having like an internet cafe. She's like, that defeat. I was like, but it's up at the main building, you know. She's like, that's so like, I can't believe they now let you get on your computer and people have business meetings. I'm like, I mean, it's life. I mean, you can't disconnect from their work for 2 weeks or whatever, you know.
yeah.
But
I
my
mean, I'm trying to find a work from home job that I could go to Penzic and still be working out of my camp.
Yeah, someone in our
That
camp had to work the first week every day from 8 to noon on their computer.
yeah,
But at the same time, like
it
she's like all this stuff like ruins the so I don't want to be the one always going on live streaming, but for this year because I didn't renew my auth, I was like I'm gonna just live stream it. It just happened to me I'm hitting this
yeah.
dummy. It's like I'm taking the dummy to can yo thanks who did that CS thank you for that.
See it.
I'm taking the dummy, the pensick, I'm gonna hit it, and half the time we're out there just walking around checking stuff out. I even walked on
Yeah,
the battlefield. I was like, see who I can find. And the weirdest stuff, like I actually was on the field, and I was saying like I was looking at like spears and things, and look, you can even use a crossbow, and I'm aiming at this crossbow and this green helmet, and someone just in chat goes, "That's my husband's helmet." I'm like, what are the odds that someone is tuned in
that
out of all
somebody
these?
is tuned in
Yeah,
at
it's like,
Penzic. It's
yeah.
like, hey, I know that helmet.
It's this light green painted helmet, and here we are. They're like, "That's my husband's helmet."
That's amazing. I could see in a year or two a specific meet and greet of all the TikTok folks at Penzic.
Yeah, it was at the bridge battle. Yeah, my friend Dave in camp, he does his thing, and his thing was if you found him out and about, he'd give you he had these little mini swords he was giving out.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
Um, Once I get the mold for it, I'm going to start casting coins specifically that say fuck on one side, so you have a fuck to give,
Yeah.
and just start handing them out.
CS. Yeah, we were talking a little bit earlier about like it's not that hard to get armor. I always say spend your money on your helmet and your hands, and
Mm-hmm.
then you want to have a good. You have to have a good helmet to even fight anyway, and neck protection. There's so many
Yeah,
things you can make the at home or on your own for armor and stuff, where it's not very expensive.
exact. It's not very extensive. Um, Armor Archive is a wonderful website.
Yeah, yeah, I know that
It
one.
gives you all the patterns on how to make just about anything, and you don't necessarily have to have a whole lot of money, a whole lot of know-how. It walks you through it.
Right.
Another seldom used thing is get a hold of your local shire or barony or whatever is local to you and use the loaner armor to start out.
True. Yeah, yeah. Like if you look at
Um,
the SCA.org website, you can find who's near you. And CS, if you're looking for people to camp with, I mean, we can talk. I can probably find you one, or I don't know where you're from, or I mean, we always usually have room for people too. But our
yeah,
camp's really our camp is usually a royal encampment. Have these rules on like you gotta have a medieval tent. You gotta have like
yeah.
which
From
which
West
I
by God.
I have it like a 12-foot round, but but still.
2 hours away in West
Oh,
by
let's
God.
go. It
Okay,
might be an Ethel Mark too.
he might be part of Ethelmark,
Potential part, but
which
2 hours away is probably Ethel Mark. It's
probably.
a good chance, maybe. I don't know. I don't know the
Um,
map, but I know that could be an Ethel Mark. Where we're from.
the known, yeah, the known world map. Taylor County. Yeah, if you look at SCA.org, they'll hook you up with. They'll have the information on where your local hookups are, um, local shires, local baronies. Uh, See, I used to, still part of Ethelmark, I used to live in Stormsport, being Erie.
Okay.
An apt name for Erie being Stormsport, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and there's a disproportionate amount of SCA folk in Erie, just from a standpoint of you've got 3 colleges right there, and a lot of collegiate folks get into it.
Oh, yeah. This didn't actually even. It started in a college, didn't it?
Yes, it did. It started in a college in California. I can't remember whether it was University of Southern California or uh, what college exactly, but it started out there, and it's grown in such wonderful ways that keeping history alive.
Yeah. I got a hold of a
Uh,
book. I'm gonna look. It's an old one. While we're talking, I'm gonna see. I might be able to find a. Oh, gotta go. All right. Well, yeah, Taylor.
okay, so yes,
I was gonna say
Taylor
I did
County.
dig up a known
The
world
Known
handbook.
World Handbook.
This is an old one. It's just I know where it's at. This is from 1990. 1990. This is from the 1990s.
Whew, it's been a minute.
It has. I don't know. I don't know if I'd find it off the top of my head. Uh, wow. Yeah, I was gonna see. I don't know where Taylor County is to look it up though. But
Yeah.
anyway,
So I'm trying to remember whereabouts. You say you stay with Atlantia usually?
yeah, I camp with Atlanta, and the reason is I started in Clovenshield, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, see, I'm looking
And
at
you
the map.
guys are up on the.
Well, I don't know where that Taylor County is to kind of guess where he'd be, but either way,
Yeah.
I started with Clovenshield to camp with, and
Mm-hmm.
and then my friend who runs that camp, which even though we're good friends, Pensick was coming up the next year, and I was waiting around for him to like invite me back, and he never like formally like said, "Hey, you're gonna come camp with us again or something." And then one of my friends from the steel fighting stuff, I don't know if you know a Sir Guy or Bobby D, but he was like, "Hey man," he's like, "You wanna?" He's like,
Bobby.
Bobby D. He's like, "You want to camp with us at Pensick?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I just went up there, and but he's not even from Atlanta either. He's from East. Actually, our camp is mostly not people from Atlanta. But
That makes sense, oddly enough.
yeah, so because we were sitting there at dinner, and I was like, most of us aren't even from Atlanta. Dude, I don't know if you ever
Yeah.
heard of Kuhn, like Duke Kuhn, but that's whose camp we're in.
Okay. And are you guys out on the Getty
Yeah,
or?
we're in N06, right across from the performing arts tent. It's
Okay.
right out in the middle of the open. It's like
Oh man, that's got to be killer at midday.
uh-huh. I think the latest I can stay in my tent is like 9:30 in the morning. Every morning I was out. I'd wake up in a complete sweat.
Oh man. See, that is the nice thing about living just above the swamp and the bog there.
Yeah.
Uh, you can be out all night and sleep most of the day away first week because it don't cook you out until 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah. You ever hear of a camp down maybe in that area called Bear?
Yeah, I've heard of Bear. I haven't been to their camp, but I've heard of them.
A couple of my friends stay there. We were down there. It used to be a knight. I think he passed away a couple years ago. Though his name was
Yeah,
that was
yeah, Sir Bear, Sir Old Bear, because Sir Young Bear runs the camp now.
mm,
Um, and they're from Stormsport.
okay. That sounds familiar.
I trained under Sir Young Bear.
Colleen, whoa, Colleen, what's up? Colleen gets the special gesture. Hey, I was thinking about you today. I, I guess I have no excuse now, but I will text you something later. Yeah, the thing at Bears Camp is my two friends that were there are authorized to do like SCA mounted combat, like archery and jousting.
Yeah, and honestly, I wish that there was, and some of it is stuff with the Coopers for doing mounted combat, but I wish we could have mounted combat at Penzic.
Yeah, that's the thing, because it seems like a Gulf Wars or something. I think they do, and some other places they're saying. I wish they
Yeah,
had.
so do I. I really wish we did. Because that's something that I may not compete in, but I would damn well go and watch.
Yeah, and the same with my daughter being in like with the horse jumping and all that stuff, and archery would so go to that.
Oh, yeah. So many people would come just to spectate it, and it would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, the only drawback of where I usually live at Penzic is the buses don't run back that far.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like I'll take a bus to the swamp and then come up from the swamp. But little things.
Right. The buses come in handy for a lot of places, but not everyone. It's like if you want to go shoot at the archery range from the Getty, like I would. Well, sometimes we have, but I hate walking there. It's so far away.
Oh yeah. I wish that, and I understand the logistics of not allowing bicycles, electric bikes, etc. I wish that we could figure out a viable way that could be used, because I'd build a bike just for it that looked like a horse. I'd be that guy.
Uh-huh.
And then live out in the middle of nowhere and just ride my horse into town.
Right.
You know. Still trying to figure out the best way to be on a bicycle in a kilt. There's no modest way to do this.
You know what? Maybe I bet you could design one where the bars are a little different underneath.
Yeah.
The frame, I mean. Maybe there's
redo my frame. Or the other thought I had is actually just put a medieval saddle on instead of a bicycle saddle.
Oh, that would be. Everybody would actually love that.
Yeah, a medieval saddle on it. Sure, go ahead and make it an electric bike. Do the speed limiting on it so it's only going to do maybe 10 or 15 mile an hour. Nothing real crazy.
Yeah.
But enough that I don't have to walk that distance, that I can ride the distance. And, get one of the horse head masks and put on the handlebars. So that way it's got the head and the tail, and so it looks like a horse. That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm. Now, people
And
get
I'm sure people would love it.
because people do get a kick out of the when someone has like the motorized scooter that's a dragon or a horse. So I'm sure it'd be the same
Yeah.
on a bike that was that way.
Yeah. And I don't care if they tell me, oh, we got to limit it to 5 mile an hour. Shit, that's fine.
Yeah, it's better
Five
than
mile an hour is just fine. It's better than my feet.
yeah, better than the alternative.
Exactly. I mean, that would be wonderful. The other I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to find, and maybe you have found, because even living where I do, and I've got lots of tree cover,
Yeah.
I'm still thinking throwing solar panels out, but how to disguise them so they don't look so damn modern.
Right. Yeah, it's hard. Most people in my camp just sort of stick them out. There's nothing really
Yeah.
that. Even in other camps, I'm thinking of. You know, yeah. The only thing I would think is maybe if you could have maybe the flame, as I guess you can't really cover up the solar cell itself, or does the light
Yeah.
actually have to hit it, or is it just as long as would the sun penetrate some kind of covering? Like if you had it
The light actually has to hit the cell, so it's not like I could drape a cheesecloth over it or something.
You can put a linen sheet over it or something.
Yeah. The one thought I had is there are some that I use when I go backpacking that they're not high wattage, but they're enough that like I could charge, for argument's sake, a Ryobi battery, and then use the inverter pack from the Ryobi battery to charge my phone, shit like that.
Yeah.
And that being said, those I'm trying to figure out if I can rig them so that they just sit on top of my pavilion and do the passive solar where it's just part of my pavilion, because I stay in a wall tent, which is a little later period of the Viking era, but I like it.
Right.
And again, I don't have to fight with 5-meter poles.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, don't get me wrong, Ossenberg tents are awesome, but that fighting with the frame is the hard part.
For sure. Yeah.
So I stay in a wall tent, which is historically accurate even as far back as the Roman era. The Legion used wall tents for their men. But you'll laugh at how I got mine. Now, I am an Eagle Scout, and I put 18 years in as a kid, so to speak, and then I spent 18 years giving back to the program as an adult, as a leader. And like I taught leatherworking merit badge, blacksmithing merit badge, wilderness survival. I taught a lot of the fun merit badges. But in doing that, I was really closely connected with our local Boy Scout camp. Well, they were getting ready to throw away a bunch of the canvas wall tents that they use, just from age, and they needed more repairs than what the camp was willing to put into them in repairs.
Right.
I said, don't throw them away, I'll take them. So I got like 15 wall tents this one year. They loaded the bed of my truck with wall tents, and I took bits and pieces of all of them and made, for a handful of other people, I made functional wall tent for them, functional for me. So now I've got a nice functional wall tent that is period correct.
Yeah.
And it's in green canvas. So I have a green tent instead of a white canvas wall tent. I have a green canvas wall tent.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it didn't cost me a dime. It just cost me a little bit of my time to do the repair work.
Right. Huh.
So yes, I stay in a BSA wall tent, which, we all remember those as kids growing up. and it's quite comfortable.
You said it's
I'm
green.
just, yeah, it's green. It's olive drab green.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool because there's not even a lot of green. It's it's a different color. I think I don't see many just olive drabs.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of them, and historically speaking, that is kind of a common color. It's not unheard of for your canvas to be that color.
Yeah.
You know, if you had the money, you did it.
Uh huh.
Um, that's just kind of the way it works,
Right.
and that's good, better, and different. It's the if you got it, flaunt it.
Hmm.
That really came into its own in the medieval period.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. The reason I got mine is we were working a lot of overtime, and I put in a bunch of. I worked like 2 weeks straight of overtime. I was like medieval tent.
Hell yeah! Now putting up the round tent like you have,
Yeah.
do you have the wagon wheel spoke at the upper?
Mine I actually don't. Mine it's the center pole. It's about
Mm-hmm.
16 feet, I think. So you put usually what we do center pull first, get the guide like the four high tension line ropes in, and then it'll stay up, and then it's just like it looks the same, but there's no wagon wheel. I don't know why they don't have a wagon. I'm kind of happy that it doesn't have one. So it just
Okay.
it just comes out. You put up the walls. There's I
The
think
walls, poles.
yeah 14 or 16 poles around, and that's it.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, I've never had an issue with it except one time. Actually, it was kind of funny. The I met this girl and she came to Pensick with me. We've been dating for like 4 months ahead of time, and we actually broke up at Pensick, but she still goes there, so that's good. Good
Well,
for her.
that's good.
Yeah, the day that we broke up, it was like Friday, the last Friday, and it was 3 in the morning. I came back up to my tent, and there was this big rainstorm. And my tent had blown over. It was laying on the
Ooh.
ground. And my car keys were in the middle of everything, and I had to like dig through my tent to get it, and now it went stuck to my car. But the problem was I didn't have big enough stakes, so now I have like, I had the stakes that came with it. Now I have actual like they're like 2 foot, for the guide.
The 2 foot irons, yeah. Yeah, I don't mess around with lightweight stakes, and that's the advantage of being a blacksmith. That I need stakes, not a problem. Let me go buy a 2 foot piece of rebar and bend it over into a stake.
Yeah, well, I
Um,
or I bought
I
them.
will I will say I evolved past using regular ropes though.
Yeah,
I go to Harbor Freight whenever I break one, but I've I end up giving them away more often at the end of events because somebody breaks a ratchet strap. But I get the orange ratchet straps from Harbor Freight
yeah,
and use those
huh.
from a standpoint of it's high vis, so people aren't going to be tripping over my guy lines and my ropes.
That's a good
And
point.
it is super simple to put it up because ratchet strap.
Yeah, right. Huh.
That's just I don't know why more people don't do that because there is a certain purity of using sisal ropes and all of that, but there is a safety aspect of using the high vis.
For sure, yeah.
And I'd rather use the high vis, and just so happens that high vis rope or line is a whole lot easier to set up.
True, yeah. So much easier. And and I bet you don't lose as much tension. Like I don't know the ropes, right? Like every couple days, like
Every couple days, you got a retention.
yeah,
Ratchet straps, I can go longer between retensioning. Now, granted, it's like my first day or first night sleep in it, retention that morning
uh huh,
because I'm going from a folded state to an erected state. and I'll have to retension that, and then I can go pretty much the rest of Penzic without having to retension.
Yeah. Huh. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
I did see someone who had like bright green ratchet straps on a tent next to ours. I could see them and I knew what they were. So I've seen it once.
yeah, I'm just surprised more people don't do it.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
from, I mean, I see people putting streamers and all sorts of stuff on their lines so they're higher visibility,
Right.
but never just use a flat out high visibility line.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, the one thing I keep looking for and I can't find that I want to add to camp is down at Swamp, and the first place I can think of that has it is not Vlad's. The sky torches that run on a 20-pounder.
Uh-huh.
Get a couple of those for camp just to have that, more or less street light kind of thing.
We have
And something that
we have a pillar of flame in ours, but yeah, those I know what you're talking about.
yeah, those sky torches are just slick as shit.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if they're custom made, but I keep looking all over for something similar, and I'm not having a lot of luck.
Is there a name for them? Like something? I don't.
I don't know. I mean, I've thought about getting like propane tiki torches and doing something similar.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's only going to be by the time you add the 20-pounder and the tank mount rig on the 20-pounder. Now you're 8 feet off the ground, and I was hoping for something that was going to be like 10 or 12 feet off the ground.
Uh-huh.
Something that was really way up there and a little bit more impressive for when you come into camp.
Right.
But like around the sheet wall, instead of using just a tent pole, so to speak, I use tiki torches. So the whole tent wall is illuminated. Which that's kind of nice at 3 o'clock in the morning when I come stumbling back into camp, or at 3 o'clock in the morning when somebody's got to get up and go see the Porta Castle. That's kind of handy having that illuminated a little bit. That
it would be.
It's, and it doesn't take much propane to run those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you just let them run all.
First day.
You let them run all night. And...
Mm-hmm. We were lacking in lights the first weekend for setup. It was you'd wake up at 3 a.m, go to the bathroom. There's nothing around. Nobody had a light up in the Getty. We're actually the only people that were even up some of those nights.
Oh, geez.
And everybody kind of. There were only a few of us there for setup, and like nobody brought any lights.
Oh, that'll make it difficult.
Yeah.
One thing that I'm planning on adding to camp is a sawdust toilet.
Uh-huh.
Just so that way I don't have to go wandering quite so far to find the Porta Castle.
Oh, yeah. That'd come in handy.
Yeah. You figure get like one of those 5 foot by 5 foot easy ups that Walmart sells with the sidewalls and everything.
Uh-huh.
And there you go. There's your own private Porta Castle for camp.
Yeah, right.
And the other advantage is it's all biodegradable. Just throw it on the compost pile when needed.
Right.
I mean, I've already got the camp shower thing sorted and running hot water.
Yeah.
Which people say to me, it's like, wait a minute here. You go camping for 2 weeks and you have running hot water? That's not camping. It's like, believe me, if they had running hot water in the medieval era, they would have had it in camp.
Yeah.
Believe you me, if that technology existed, they would have taken it with them camping.
Yep. Yeah. We have hot water. I can't imagine not camping without it.
Yeah, it makes life so much easier.
Uh-huh.
And that's sure it takes the better part of the first couple days to get that set up and have the showers set up, have the sinks set up and all of that, but it's so nice for sanitation from a standpoint of keeping yourself clean, keeping your dishes clean, all of those things.
Oh yeah. Like we use hot water for dishwashing, all that stuff.
Yeah. And the portable on-demand hot water heaters are so nice. They're so convenient for that now. Those portable on-demands that run on propane are they're convenient. They do everything you need.
Yep. Yeah, that's the same thing we got.
Yeah. We're still old school. We have a 50-gallon tank that was converted to propane instead of natural gas. We're still the old school camp that way.
Yeah.
But when the tank goes, the plan is to switch over to a tankless.
Okay. We have tankless now.
Just
but
now, do you find during War Week when the water pressure goes down, do you find that tankless has issue tripping?
Sometimes, yeah.
I've seen some folks that have put a like a surge tank in, and that can be as simple as a pickle barrel kind of thing. Uh-huh. And then they have a secondary water pump, so the pickle barrel is full of cold water, and then the secondary water pump goes from there to the tankless heater.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, there are issues like that sometimes.
Okay, and that's my only worry about a tankless heater is whether it trips or not, whether it trips the internals.
Uh-huh. I think we're redoing the whole shower for next year anyway.
Okay.
We threw out a bunch of stuff this year. We actually got a new sink, so we threw out the old sink. The sink that we've been using, actually, I said is from the 1990s, 1997. Yeah,
hey, that's not bad. That's not bad life on a sink at all.
Yeah. So we got a new one already. I don't know. Do you guys ever keep anything on site, like in the trailer or anything?
Yeah. We have one 10 by 20 long haul that is mundane things that are kept on site that we want to keep out of sight.
Yeah. So we got a new
and it's kind of a nice. We keep our sink set up with the shower tent. So it's a shower, and then the dishwashing happens right beside the shower tent, and then it drains down and away.
Yeah.
But yeah, because like my setup is a lot smaller, so I donate a lot of my square footage into that common tent, and that it's for any of those mundane things that you don't want seen, but you want to have closer than taking a hike up to the parking lot to get them.
Right. Yep.
So, but yeah, we do that too. I think a lot of camps do that in their common areas, kind of thing, that everybody donates a little bit of their space to a common hidey hole, so to speak.
Yeah, we do.
And there's a lot of good for that. I mean, there's a lot of good that comes from that.
Uh-huh.
And builds up the community, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like, for argument's sake, oh, I need to borrow this from you. Yeah, it's in the common tent. Go ahead and get it. Boom, no big deal.
Right.
That makes it really nice that it's good having good people to camp with.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
what that boils down to. And nothing to knock singles camping, but I don't know how a lot of those folks, I don't know how they do it from a standpoint of I've always camped with my group, and I couldn't imagine doing Penzic without them.
Right. I just
You know, I could not imagine doing war without the camaraderie, without.
true. At least after like say you're there a year or maybe 2 years, and you're like, oh, you finally found a camp or something to camp. But I couldn't continually being in a singles area. No, I see some people have tents that I've recognized over the years that are like always in that section too.
I mean, yeah, I stay with a certain group, and it's the group that I started out staying with,
Uh-huh.
and it works out very well. We haven't had a falling out. I see them for 2 weeks a year when I see them, and if we get into an argument, it's that hey, we'll table this until the drink it, burn it, fuck it.
Yeah.
We'll get shit faced. We'll have our argument, and then we have 50 weeks to cool down
Uh-huh.
before we before we address the situation.
Yeah.
We have a nice cool down period.
Yeah.
And
The shirts they were selling this year with the pencil shirts, one of them was, sorry for the things I said during camp setup.
or the other, again, being a Viking camp, it's not unheard of for us to settle arguments by, all right, armor up.
Yeah.
Armor up. We're settling this like men.
Yeah.
That's not unheard of for us to do that, too, which, I mean, I think that's something that's lost on modern society, too. The used to be, for argument's sake, little Jimmy has a problem with a bully, so after school they get the boxing gloves out, they go a couple rounds, and at the end of it, little Jimmy and little Tommy become good friends over it.
Yeah.
Versus nowadays, it's the no, you can't do that, you can't do that. It's like, man, that built a lot of character that you can go have a couple rounds in the ring and then be friends afterwards. That whatever beef was there is gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so lost on modern society that, and don't get me wrong, it is good to be peaceful. It is very good to be peaceful, but at the same breath, it's good to be able to defend yourself as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure.
As some have told me, hard times make strong men. Strong men make easy times. Easy times make hard times. And we are in the easy times, and we are fast approaching it's going to be a hard time.
Yeah. And nobody's going to know how to bake bread during a hard time either.
Exactly. It's the man, all of us SCA folk and reenactors, we're going to be made in the shade.
Yeah.
We're going to be like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. I've always wanted this.
I've always wanted to do this. I guess we're doing it now.
Yeah.
You know, I've always wanted to have this. I guess I'm doing it now. I've always wanted this trebuchet in my side yard.
Yeah. I guess all those years of the siege engineers come reality.
Yes, I guess my time has come. It's the all those years of doing reenacting, everybody saying, "Man, you spend a small fortune to live like they did 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, etc." It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, your point. I enjoy it, but how does that apply to? How does that do anything for your normal life? Well, I enjoy it,
Yeah.
and you'd be surprised some of those old world skills that, like, well, does anybody know how to do this? Does anybody know how to do that? Uh, I mean, it upsets me the throwaway society that we live in, that folks don't know how to mend clothing anymore.
Yep.
And that used to be just something you learned. Period. Didn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You learned how to mend your own clothing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I learned.
Sure, that was generally speaking your that was the ladies' purview generally, but you know, I'm saddened that shop classes are not stressed in schools, that home ec classes are not stressed.
Uh huh.
You know, I'm sorry, those are life skills.
Right. Yeah. I.
I
It's yeah. It's they teach you a lot in school. They don't teach you enough in school that you should actually know in real life, just in regard. Besides being prepared to enter a workforce, like there's a lot of things that you don't learn about just regular life that you probably should.
Exactly. There's so much about the world that should be taught,
Mm-hmm.
because is not the purpose of school to bring our young ones up in such a manner that they have the life skills to survive.
Right.
And I admit I'm a college graduate, but it seems more now that the education system is a pipeline to college, not here's this life skill. Because
Yeah.
little Johnny or little Timmy may not be, I'm not going to say that they aren't absolutely smart, but they're smart in ways of, you tell them, hey, go fix this plumbing issue, and they're brilliant at it. But
Uh-huh.
you ask them who generaled this battle during the Civil War, and they're like, don't know, don't care.
Yeah.
You ask them something that is a traditionally a book smart thing, don't know, don't care. You ask them to go fix something for you, they're all over it.
Yeah. Right.
And we don't stress the trades nearly enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I did. I was a union carpenter for like 12 years before it just work got so, but I got out of it. I used so much from that still like to this day.
Yeah. I learned carpentry by helping my dad rebuild the house. I mean, I grew up in a house that was built in the 1790s.
Right.
So, renovating the house, I learned carpentry. I learned how to hang sheetrock. I learned how to do plumbing. I learned how to do electrical.
Uh huh.
Never thought much of it because it was just, well, dad's having me help him out and he's teaching me how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I got my own house, it's like, shit, that is really useful knowledge. And I never would have had that knowledge had I not grown up the way I did.
Right.
Fixing cars, same thing. That we didn't take it to the mechanic; we were the mechanic.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and you ain't never fixed a car until you get yelled at for not holding the light in the right place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn it! I told you hold the light still.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and I can still pick out a 10 millimeter socket out of it. All the others just by the look of it.
Yep.
Common.
That's how you know folks who do not just the oh it's not working right. I'll take it to a mechanic. Oh,
Right.
now I will admit with modern vehicles with the more computer control, I will take a look at it myself, and if it's something that I can fix, I'll fix it. If it's something that is beyond my skill set, yeah, I'll still use a mechanic.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
But
Yeah.
but I recognize where my skill set ends and where the modern mechanic takes over because
Uh-huh.
it's something that I can't do.
Right. Or like on some,
Um,
they bury some parts, like to change a thermostat. You got to take apart half the engine, and you just know, okay, like, well, I don't really feel like doing all that work.
exactly. There are some things where I don't have the tools. I have the tools to do it technically, but not the tools to do it in the easiest, most efficient fashion.
Yeah.
Um, I absolutely love my Tacoma. I have a 2001 Toyota Tacoma.
Yeah.
Okay. Old school truck, real simple. The only complaint that I have, and it's a first gen Tacoma,
Okay.
and I'm betting they fixed this in the later gens, is when doing an oil change. Now
Yeah.
I do my own oil changes twofold. One, everybody who has a vehicle should know how to change their oil.
Hmm.
I really hold that should be part of driver's education. How to change a tire, how to change your oil,
Right.
uh,
The
where
brake.
to put flares if you're disabled at the side of the road, where to put your flares.
Uh-huh.
That should be part of your driver's education. Those
Yeah.
are all things that aren't taught but should be.
Right.
Um, but the oil filter is right up beside the engine, and to get there, because it's a four-wheel drive truck, I have to use uh, universal joints and all sorts of other extensions to get up on it. And it's like, you sons of bitches, you made everything else on this truck so damn easy, but getting to the oil filter,
Yeah. Huh.
you know. But the other reason I do my own oil changes is I save the oil for quenching, for making blades.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. All right.
Um, it is the best quench oil that I have ever used. Don't get me wrong, I could spend a small fortune on synthetic quench oils and things like that.
Uh-huh.
Or I can change the oil in my truck and get it for free.
Yeah. Right.
I'm thinking getting it for free sounds really good, number one. Number two, it puts enough carbon back into the blade that it has a very nice quench.
Uh-huh.
So so when I quench a piece of steel, it has the properties that I'm looking for.
Right.
Um, so I mean, it's a twofold thing being a blacksmith that I use that shit.
Yeah. Right.
Um, so I'd be stupid not to change my own oil from the standpoint of, man, I got to spend that money to change the oil anyway. But if I get oil back out of it for my business, did I really spend the money?
True. Yeah. Right.
It's that money that I had to spend, but is it wasting money? Is it really spending the money, or is it just giving me supplies elsewhere?
Yeah.
Uh, I'm a big person for repurposing things, and I don't know if that comes from the reenacting and from being in the SCA, etc., but repurposing,
Oh, for sure.
or maybe
Yeah.
that comes from being a Norse pagan and being a man who follows that path and being one who follows a Viking way. I repurpose.
Yeah.
I don't throw things away. I use them until they're so broken they can't be used anymore.
Yeah. Like a tablecloth can become napkins.
It can
Like.
become a handbag and napkins. It can become all sorts of things. Uh, my I just recently had to redo my couches in the house,
Yeah.
and it pissed me off because the couches I had were futons.
Uh-huh.
Just from the standpoint of I live in a tiny house. Um, by definition, it is a tiny house. It's 650 square feet. So guests come over. Yes, I have to convert the couch into a bed for you if you're going to stay overnight, kind of a thing. Little things. Um, it works out well for me and my animals, but that's just how it works.
Uh-huh.
Uh, when I got the new furniture, I got stuff that was specifically things that if the upholstery goes, I have the ability to reupholster it. That it was, instead of being stuff that has internal mechanics that I can't reupholster this thing, because that's what happened to the last set. The upholstery just went out on me.
Yeah.
Now I've got the ability that I can reupholster. That I can, it's all made out of nice wood that, oh, if the wood cracks, not a big deal. I can scab another piece on and the furniture is going to last and last and last and last.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, the cushions are getting a little overloved and they've got ass prints in them that won't go away.
Yeah.
No big deal. I can go to Walmart and buy a memory foam mattress and make a new cushion.
Right.
Take that memory foam mattress and just cut out the piece that I need for the cushion and then upholster it, and I'm back off and running.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, for sure.
um, I know that makes me an oddity, but I am a big fan of having things that I can do that with.
Yeah. Oh, it's so much better, I think.
Yeah, and it's less waste into landfills. It's less. It's less that I do not agree with this throwaway society that we've come to because everything is so easy.
Yeah. I've even said I wish, like, like even up at Pacific, they were wrapping the sandwiches. Like you ordered a sandwich, then there's it.
Mhm.
It's called swords and subs or something like that. Then they wrap it in a big paper thing and then a bag. And I was like, seriously, I was like, you can just hand it to me. I was like, I don't need it wrapped in anything.
Yeah, or if anything, wrap it in some deli paper for me.
Yeah.
You know.
I had them handed to me on a couple napkins that I had. But yeah, I mean, I don't need it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna walk 10 steps. I'm gonna throw the bag out. I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna throw out this huge piece of paper like this. They're gonna wrap it in.
Yeah.
I was like, I can just take it from you.
Yeah. It's being in a throwaway society. There are some good things about it, like from the medical industry. Yes, it's very good for single use.
Yeah.
I agree, single use for a lot of medical implements, but in everyday life, have durable goods, have goods that you can repair.
Right. Yeah. So much.
It's so much nicer.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I would turn my camera on and show you my piano, except it's an absolute disaster right now from stuff that is collected on it.
Yeah.
So my family was going to be getting rid of a family heirloom piano. Okay? Because the cost to repair it, you can buy a brand new piano for less. The pin block in it was cracked. Now, if you don't know what a pin block in a piano is, it's where all the tuning pins screw into to tune the piano.
Okay.
It is an absolutely massive chunk of hardwood. And in order to get a piano repair person to come in, replace that, was going to be about $10,000.
Man. All right.
can buy a brand new piano for $6. So what I did is I said, don't throw that away. I will take the piano and I will repurpose it.
Uh-huh.
So I got the piano. I took out all of the internal mechanics. Took all of the mechanical out of it. So all of the hammers, all of the keys, the harp, and all of that. So I'm left with this empty wood case of an upright piano.
Okay.
From 1912. I then proceeded to mount my living room television in the piano.
Huh.
I built a sound. I went and did, instead of having like those normal little sound bars that you can get at Walmart's or Best Buy, whatever.
Yeah.
I took the same concept because that's an amplifier and speakers. I built that into the piano. So it's its own sound bar.
All right.
There's my TV, there's my sound bar. But it's not a piano yet. I then got a digital piano that would fit in where the keys used to be, so it is a functional piano while being my TV.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it was not a difficult task to do. I mean, sure, getting the harp out was kind of a bitch, and I went through 5 or 6 cutting discs, cutting it out of there.
Uh-huh.
But now I have an absolutely gorgeous piece of furniture. It's a piano. It's a television. I listen to a lot of music, so the audio quality is a little bit higher end. It's got the high-end sound bar kind of thing. And when I'm playing the piano, I can display all of my sheet music on the screen. Yeah. So I now have a 32-inch piece of sheet music that is super easy to read. And for a lot of pieces I play, that's the whole score. I don't have to worry about turning pages.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It's very steampunk as hell, but it works for me.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah. That's kind of stuff I love to repurpose things. I just watched a video of the man who taught me leatherworking repurposed a 1955 black and white Radiotron TV. And obviously you can't get parts for TVs anymore. But it was in the 50s, that was all tube technology. Not just the cathode ray tube itself, but the actual electronics, and it was all tubes.
Uh-huh.
Well, a friend of his is a TV repair person to repair and refurbish antique televisions, etc. So he gave them all of the guts and then proceeded to mount a computer monitor and build a computer into it and make a functioning TV out of it again. Huh. It's a smart TV now, but it still has that 1950s casing and the aesthetic. So
I would think
it's absolutely wonderful.
I would think there'd be a market for that, maybe even.
There is. He happened to do that because he was working, and he's still working on some of the final touches on. He's really big into Fallout.
Yeah, okay.
And his shop and garage, which is separate from his house.
Yeah.
It's a 2-bay garage, and 1 bay of it is a Fallout-themed bar. So this is a TV for the bar.
Yeah. That's cool.
Oh, yeah. And it fits the aesthetic perfectly. You know, the late 50s, that Art Deco, which Fallout, if you follow the games,
I know.
Art Deco is huge. And technically, the last technology you get is 1976.
Okay.
That's the latest technology you'd run into. So he found an old glass Coke bottle machine.
Yeah.
And redid it so it's Nuka-Cola instead of Coca-Cola. He rebranded it to Nuka-Cola.
Yeah.
He has the red rocket sign over the garage portion.
Yeah.
which is awesome. He's got an old gas pump there,
Yeah, I
which,
saw that.
oh, it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. Uh, I love it. And it's not that it's any one piece is very difficult. It's he taught me at a very early point in teaching me, go to flea markets, go to yard sales, go get the cool looking things for next to nothing and repurpose them to what you want.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you're looking for something for bedroom furniture, whether it be a bed frame or a dresser or whatever. Go
Uh-huh.
yard sailing, go give these things a second life, go to the restore
Hmm.
and give these things a second life. Take a little bit of time, refurbish them, make them your own.
For sure.
And it really shapes the kind of person I am.
Yeah.
Uh, Granted, the other advantage of having all that iron out of the piano is when I get the casting setup done for my forge,
Uh-huh.
I can make cast iron pots and pans. I've got the material.
Huh. Oh yeah.
Because I can just take that harp and recast it into pots and pans and do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Huh.
Uh, so from a family heirloom from 1912 to it's still a family heirloom, it just
Yeah.
has some modern technology in it now.
Something different. A little different.
Yeah.
Huh.
Um, it works out nice.
Yeah, heck yeah. You know, I'm thinking
Oh,
on a side note, I probably gotta get going.
okay. Hey, it's been a pleasure talking with you.
It has been. It's been we got 6,000 hits in while we were streaming.
Nice. Awesome. You said you're shooting for 1 million by the end of the year?
Yeah, we're on day 55. I slacked a little bit during Pen 6. It started out good, but then it was just we had so many other things to do during the day.
Yeah, there's so much to do at Penzic that I don't blame you for slacking.
Yeah.
Now, if your auths were up and you were on the field, I would have said, now wait a minute here. The dummy doesn't have to be an inanimate dummy that you're whacking on.
Yeah. I was happy too when I fought out there. My arms weren't tired. I'm just so used to it now.
That's good. That definitely helps, and that million stroke training is going to make a big difference in your stamina in fighting.
Yeah, I bet. I hope so at least.
Ah,
It's a dumb idea I had because I challenged somebody to fight me for an hour in longsword, and everyone was like, "That's stupid," or "No one would do it," or "No one could do it." I was like, "Well, I already do like 4,000 hits every like 4 or 5 days in my armor." I was like, "I don't mean like you have to be engaged the whole time." Like I was like, "You can like just an hour long, see who gets the most hits." But so then I was like thinking of something different. I was like, "I'll hit this. Like I'll show them." I'll do it a million times. I don't know.
1 million times. Well, hey, you're well on your way on that.
Yeah, we're at 14% of a million as of today.
Nice, nice. That is awesome.
But yeah, I guess I probably should eat something. I still got to put my tent away and all that stuff.
Yeah. Did I was gonna say at least the last few days of Penzic weren't monsooning, so you don't necessarily have to worry about drying.
Yeah, luckily everything's dry. I still gotta get out of the truck and store it and all that stuff.
Yeah. It's definitely been a great pleasure, sir.
Yeah, same here. That's good actually. Like for a decent turn. A lot of people tuned in. Sometimes I don't know how, but there'll be
Yeah.
like 120 people tuned in. I'm just like, but yeah, it was a good stream. Toast. I'm glad to talk to you.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get to talk again more at some
Yeah,
point.
yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Alrighty
You
then.
have yourself a good rest of your day, and I will let you go.
You too. All right, good talking with you. All right, catch you later.
Later.